Great British love affair with train travel is as old as the railways themselves. From the beating heart of London's metropolis to the majesty of the Scottish Highlands. Connecting coast and countryside with our great cities, the East Coast Line has it all.
Disregard that, it's a glitch.
But it's the people who give life to this railway.
Come on, Frisco, I trust you.
British public are the best form of entertainment on the planet.
The East Coast Line carries 19 million passengers a year on 155 train journeys a day, along almost 1,000 miles of track. East Coast is the largest operator on the line. It runs trains, manages stations, and employs nearly 3,000 staff.
That's all you do it all day. I'm not playing with you while you're showing off.
The East Coast workforce toils tirelessly.
Demand your bags, please.
From driving trains...
Look at this office window. Fantastic.
...to making breakfasts...
I've cooked that much bacon over the years, surprised I haven't turned into a pig.
...to controlling the whole train set.
Morning. That's absolutely excellent, Graham. Thank you very much for that news.
Keeping everything on track behind the scenes and in public.
I've been standing here for half an hour.
These are the real heroes of the railway. Around 3,000 men and women work for East Coast. Many have spent their entire working lives on the railway, and many more are only just embarking on their careers.
I've had a good shift, haven't we? Yes, darling.
But they all know that on the railways, no 2 days are alike.
Every day is different on the railway.
And whatever gets thrown their way, whether good or bad,
When you get something like a fatality, it puts things into context a little bit.
A bit crazy.
One more and you're off the station.
it's all in a day's work.
And it's not working.
Anything can be thrown at you at any minute.
No, off the train, off.
Late March, officially it's spring, but the Great British Winter is having one last hurrah. Just when everyone thought they could pack away their cold weather gear, Britain's woken up to the worst March snowfall in 30 years. And weather like this can spell chaos for the entire rail network.
It's running a little bit late, so we're about another 9 minutes or so.
At York Station, East Coast rookie dispatcher Liam is manning the information desk.
It's been a bit of a nightmare so far today, really. Heavy snow right across the country. A lot of our services have been delayed. It really is causing chaos, to be honest. You had a nightmare journey so far?
We've been up this morning.
Joking. Where have you come from?
From Snowstorms.
All sorts of crazy inquiries. I mean, people are asking me if the train's going to be all right tomorrow, but I don't even know if the train's going to be all right in an hour's time, never mind tomorrow. So I always get inquiries like that, but I've not got a crystal ball, unfortunately. I wish I did, but I don't.
Can I see tickets, please? That's it, excellent. There you are. Thank you very much. Good morning. There you are. Thank you very much.
A snowstorm was the last thing Guard Adrian expected when he boarded his Newcastle-bound train this morning.
Oh, it's getting deep here, isn't it? Look at that. A couple of inches deep at the platform. Oh, we're not even halfway there yet.
Yeah, can you just let me know the situation with the snow there? Is it still as bad as it was? It is still snowing.
At the control centre in York, the beating heart of the East Coast operation, the team is busy monitoring all services and ensuring communications are up to date across the network for crew and passengers.
You're OK as far as passengers getting in and out of the station? Right, that's perfect.
Information controller Mickey thinks they're managing the unexpected disruption pretty well.
We're able to run a pretty decent service. In fact, we haven't cancelled one train today. And the latest train We have running, I think, is 20 minutes late.
But all this could change if the weather conditions continue to worsen.
There's some more snow forecast for the next 24 hours. Sub-zero temperatures throughout the route. London -1, northeast -4. We never used to have temperatures like that, I'm sure. We're getting more and more like Canada each day. But when I think back to this weekend last year, it was a boiling hot weekend. It just goes to show. You never know what to expect. You just have to be prepared for all kinds of weathers.
On the train speeding north, Adrian's bracing himself for the worst.
It's looking heavy. Yeah, it looks very thick. I can imagine it's getting worse as we get further north.
While the train crews battle through the snow on their way north, back at King's Cross, young customer services assistants Jack and Bianca have landed a plum job. East Coast is rolling out a new uniform, and this lucky pair will be modelling the collection on its first public outing.
I've seen the new uniform and I thought I really loved it. I really liked it. It's very pink, but for me, I love it. So.
I've only seen the pictures. I've only seen the pictures with the waistcoats and everybody's written all over it saying, no waistcoat.
Bianca is clearly excited about the new look.
I've only been here a year and a half and I feel like I need a change of the uniform, so this is coming right at the best time.
But Jack seems a little more sceptical.
I feel like I'm looking at a book of carpet samples. It's very pink. How good do I look?
Compliment your hair.
Yeah, thank you.
East Coast plans to introduce the new look in shirts, ties, jumpers, and yes, Jack, waistcoats. Around 20,000 garments will be rolled out across the network.
Right then, we're going to try it on.
No? Okay. Yeah. Give this a try. Pinning it around the back there.
Looks like Jack is coming around to the new image.
But yeah, there you go. Ready for customer service.
What do you think?
Very nice. I think yours fits a bit better than mine.
Yeah, your waistcoat doesn't...
It fits. I can't pinning it around the back there.
Jack and Bianca will be modelling the new uniform in the East Coast service from London to Leeds, and it's almost departure time. En route to Newcastle, train guard Adrian assists a passenger who missed his scheduled connection because of the snow.
What time's the connection? Let's have a look. There's a 9:49.
How long does it take for them to get to Sheffield?
That'll get to Sheffield at 10:19. But obviously there might be delays themselves as well, so...
Just like the passengers, Adrian is anxious that the bad weather doesn't leave him stuck in transit, unable to get home to London.
Lovely jubbly. Like anybody else, when I get home to my family, so I don't want to be delayed any longer than I have to be. I've got a wife and 3 kids at home, and I want to be home to see them before they go to bed.
The train's pulling into Newcastle, and Adrian's got an hour to wait for his homeward-bound train, which is currently heading south from Inverness.
I hope the snow settles down now so we can get back home on time, but who knows?
Back at King's Cross, Jack and Bianca's impromptu fashion show is about to begin on the Leeds-bound train. At the cafe bar, Jack's come up with a cunning plan.
I'm just going to ask people when they come up to the bar whether they like the new uniform or not, and I'm just going to make a tally and see whether or not at the end of the day it's a good idea. It's a way to do it. Maybe not the best, but probably the most fun.
And not to be outdone, Bianca's canvassing passengers' opinions about the new outfits.
Yeah, this is our new uniform today. Just wanted to see what you think about it.
That's really nice.
Oh, good.
It's smart. Colourful as well.
It's very bright, isn't it? Yeah. We stick out a bit. Everyone was saying they liked the colour. I think that's what everyone's feeling. It stands out. I think we want to stand out from the crowd. We are We are something special, so we want a nice uniform to go with the way we feel, sort of, really. So that's it.
The ladies like the look, but what will Jack's customers say?
What do you think? Do you think this is a smart uniform? This is a uniform change for us, yeah? Do you want to just fill in my very official poll that I've devised there for you, sir?
That's a yes, but Jack is angling for more.
Hiya. What do you think of the new uniform, sir? Yeah? Ah, fair enough. Oh dear, it's all good fun.
What do you think is our new one?
It's very lovely.
Thank you. There you go.
Yeah, I know. It's I quite like pinky sort of tones.
See, women, we love the pink.
Yeah.
What do you think, sir? New uniform?
Yeah, it's all right, yeah.
Okay. Do you think this one's very smart? Do you like it?
Yes.
Yeah? Good.
I noticed it on the platform on a lady as I walked up, one of your colleagues.
What do you think about our new uniform? We're just trying these out today.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, lovely?
I like the short sleeves especially.
Yeah.
Back in Newcastle, after an hour break, train card Adrian's London-bound train is good to go, and the snowfall has stopped for the time being. But now he's facing something much, much worse.
Excellent. That was our control saying there's a child been sick in coach E for Echo, seats 5 and 6. Maybe I don't have a look at how much of a cleaning it needs. I hate kids sick. Well, my kids are sick at home. I can't stomach it.
Adrian surveys the damage, and it's not as bad as he had feared.
Oh, I know, but it's just not as bad as I thought. People have to drive type things, don't they? I thought it'd be everywhere.
As a guard, Adrian won't do the dirty work. A clean-up team will take care of it at the next station stop.
You all right, Princess?
Are you better?
Not really.
Are you sick?
It's now late afternoon, and the snowstorm has let up.
Be 1:44 down on platform 1, just about on the left. All right. Yeah, I think the rest of the day's going to be pretty smooth, to be honest. Last sort of half an hour, it's died down a lot. There's not as many delays, fingers crossed.
Adrian's relieved. The snow is no longer a worry. In fact, his train is making good time into London.
It's always good getting back into London, especially if you're early as well, which is a refreshing change. And your buggy. That's no problem at all, that's all right. She's happy she's back on solid ground.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
While Adrian heads home to his family, Jack and Bianca's train rolls into Leeds, and the momentous moment has arrived. The votes have been counted, and the result is...
We have 7 ticks for yes and 0 ticks for no. So, overall, I think it's going to be a good uniform.
A death on the line creates chaos.
East Coast Control, it impacted on us quite heavily.
Red and black are not very good.
The standing for them train, there's only one result.
It should be just a regular Thursday for employees and travellers on the East Coast Line. 155 services carrying thousands of passengers across 936 miles of track. East Coast staff members are used to dealing with anything the job can throw at them. But there's one event that every employee dreads.
Just come in from a train from York, just departed from Doncaster, arrived in Retford and heard about that there'd been a fatality. So just narrowly escaped whatever happened up there.
Any death on the tracks, suicide, accidental or suspicious, can cause severe delays while the police investigate.
East Coast Control.
In York, at the East Coast Control Centre, rolling stock controller Gary and his team are facing major disruptions.
It was a River cross-country service just south of York. So that was the one involved in the fatality. Although it wasn't an East Coast train involved in it, it impacted on us quite heavily. It closed the main lines to and from London. It closed them for approximately, I think it was about 90 minutes all told. So there was no services permitted to move south of York for that period of time.
The police have given the rail companies the all clear, and York Control's first objective is to bring all services currently delayed back on time as quickly as possible.
If we terminate the Sierra 13 or Sierra 15,
Sierra 13 would probably be the better one for us.
Gary is terminating services running north from York and concentrating on moving enough trains south to King's Cross to prepare for the capital's evening rush.
Rather than chase our tails all day, I'm to terminate short to bring a service back on time. It's a little bit of pain for the good in the end to get everything back on an even keel.
For now, train guard Claire is stuck at King's Cross.
Everything's been late now, so hopefully my train coming in won't be too late, but a bit crazy. This is the trains that are coming from north, so you can find out which is making your train to go back. This is the running board of the ones that are running late. So the green ones are okay, red and black are not very good. I'm just hoping that the train that we have to go back is in on time and then everything's fine.
Fatalities, particularly suicides, are a sobering aspect of life on the railway. In the last year, there have been 238 recorded suicides on UK railways. That figure comprised nearly 4% of all UK suicides. Fatalities cost the UK railway industry millions of pounds a year, but the human cost is impossible to measure.
For me, I think the most difficult and challenging aspect is the amount of fatalities that we have on the railway. I mean, sometimes you can get a week where obviously you don't have one. At other times, you know, I had 5 in the space of 3 days. The drivers have an incredibly difficult time.
One driver who's come face to face with a potential suicide is Graham. Based in Newcastle, he's worked on the railway for over 34 years.
Ultimately, it's an awful experience for the driver involved, because obviously he sees and he kind of do nothing about it. For example, I'm doing nearly 120 miles an hour now, and if somebody decided to just run in front of me, about 100 yards in front of us, it doesn't matter how hard I put the brake on, with 700-800 tons behind us, you're never going to stop.
The memory of the person he hit still haunts him.
He was only a young lad, he was the same age as my son. He was only 14. Why he did it, I'll never know. And I did speak to my son afterwards, I said, if you think anything's bad, it's never that bad, ever. We can always sort something out, but it's never bad for somebody to have to do that, stand in front of a train. Because they stand in front of a train, there's only one result.
Any driver involved in a fatality receives care and counselling.
It's very important that that care and that support is in place for them.
It can affect different drivers in different ways. There's drivers I've known who have actually had fatalities in the past and they've been back at work within 2 weeks. But there's other drivers that have been off for 6 months, and I'm sure there's drivers in the past that's actually finished their career because they couldn't get back in the cab. The drivers I've known who have been off a long time, that's been the thing, they've not been able to get back in the cab. It's been very difficult to go over the piece of track again where that incident's happened because it's still in their mind.
An hour has passed since the police gave the all clear, but back at East Coast Control in York, the delays continue to disrupt the schedule.
Right, John, Sierra 13, terminate Newcastle.
Yeah.
Echo 24, SSO Berwick.
Yeah. Are we putting Berwick in S15 as well? Because S16 could be quite full.
Today's delays have affected all East Coast passengers. Those travelling north to Scotland are among the worst affected.
One's 87 minutes late, one's 66 minutes late, and they're all late runners. So one's heading towards London, and that'll terminate. And then we've got the Inverness train that's running 66 minutes late. So that'll have an impact on our customers when they get to Inverness, because they probably missed the last ScotRail service. So we'll have to provide onward transport, whether it be in taxis or maybe a coach, depending on how many passengers are. And it's all part of their contract for us to get them to the final destination.
The control centre team is determined to keep the inconvenience for passengers down to a minimum, but some knock-on delays are inevitable.
Unfortunately, when you get something like a fatality, it puts things into context a little bit. It's not great, and unfortunately we seem to get more than our fair share of them. Passengers, as long as updated and you lay the cards on the table, then I think they're a bit more understanding of the circumstances. It's out of your control.
A death on the track is stressful for passengers and staff alike, but for those employees whose job it is to deal directly with the aftermath, the stress is particularly acute.
One of my roles as a technical team leader, I do get called out to fatalities. I can remember the last one I went out to was a young girl. She's only 16, 17 years old, was hit by one of our trains that killed her instantly. And I do remember helping the police collect body parts, cleaning up, and remember a passenger leaning out of a window saying to me, "Oh, we're going to be much longer." And that was quite hurtful. We do our best, but on the front of the train there was somebody dead. You know, somebody had taken their life on the front of the train, and you know, what was asked of me is, "You're going to be much longer."
No, Echo 23 start Newcastle, Clyde. 1750.
Back at East Coast headquarters, the control centre team is anticipating the impact of the delays on rush hour London.
Have you seen all these late runners we've got coming from the north? Nothing's terminating short, and at the moment we've got no plans for anything to be cancelled going back out. We'll just keep running with everything. If we get late starts, then we'll just have to grin and bear it. There will be impacts in London. Might mean pressure on in London for 15-20 minute turnarounds.
About 60% of East Coast passengers start or finish their journey at King's Cross, so Gary has every reason to worry about the impact of the day's delays on rush hour traffic. Claire's train finally comes in.
Is this the 3:30?
But another delay ties up the schedule.
The line is out of use at the moment.
And train guard Kane races to avoid mishap.
Excuse me.
The majority of passengers are quite understanding when you explain to them over the tannoy that the train's been delayed due to a fatality. Unfortunately, in this day and age, it is quite frequent, fatalities, and it causes a lot of delays and throughout the whole day.
A fatality on the tracks earlier in the day has put the East Coast schedule back by more than 2 hours.
Well, that's the one that's gone first anyway.
Services going north from York to Scotland have been terminated, and now the focus is to get enough trains south to King's Cross to handle the evening commuter rush. Station Customer Services Manager Olga is bracing herself for the possible onslaught of late trains and upset passengers.
The black one, which is heavily delayed, is 87 minutes late now. This train meant to form 5 minutes past 4 to Leeds. So as it's currently an hour away from here, so it's definitely not going to form 5 minutes past 4. As well as this train, yeah, it's over an hour late as well. So that means that we need to find another train, which is a set swap, basically.
A set is rail speak for a whole train. A set swap essentially means prepping a train to take a different route than it was originally booked for. And at King's Cross, with rush hour fast approaching, it's essential to do this very, very quickly.
With our dispatchers and duty team leaders who needs to be on the ball of everything and who needs to make sure that all the trains that arrive late, they're all tanked and serviced and cleaned and reserved very quickly.
It's not just paying customers who've been affected by today's disruptions. Train guard Claire's been stuck in King's Cross waiting for her return train to Newcastle. And there's good news. It's just come in.
So mine's on platform 2, but it's got 2 head codes, so I'll have to go and find out which one's ours. Is this the 3:30? It's got 2 head codes on the board?
Yeah.
All right. Right, this is my train, so we must be leaving on time, so that's all I'm bothered about.
Claire is finally on her way home to Newcastle, and it looks like the tangle of delays across the network is slowly but surely being straightened out.
East Coast Control. Yeah, we've got Echo 25 behind him, but you'll have, I would imagine, there'll be quite a lot of people going.
But the day's drama is not over yet. Back at East Coast Control, the team has been hit by another unforeseen snag.
Yeah, we've got a plastic sheet on the overhead line equipment at Grantham.
Every year, hundreds of plastic bags and kiddies' balloons wreak havoc, costing the rail company precious time and money.
That's the contact wire there, where the plastic bag is actually laying on as well. That's where the electric locomotives pick the overhead line supply up.
With trains running at up to 125 miles per hour and over 25,000 volts of live electricity coursing through the cables, contact with even the flimsiest of objects has the potential to cause serious damage.
So if that gets tangled in the pantograph, it causes all sorts of problems, losing power and everything. So it always amazes when you've got 1,000 acres of sky up there, yet these things seem to find the overhead line equipment. The line is out of use at the moment until that's removed safely by overhead line staff.
At King's Cross, Olga is still concerned about a last-minute set swap that could prevent the 5 p.m. train to Edinburgh from leaving on time.
1700, do you still need help for that, yeah? Yeah, all right, thank you.
But the efforts of East Coast Control have paid off. Enough trains have made it south to London on time, so last-minute set swaps aren't required.
It's already there, boarding, and we'll be ready to leave exactly on time, so all good now.
Olga's happy. The busy commuter exodus from King's Cross is running without major disruption. And back at East Coast Control in York, the plastic bag snag has been resolved.
Thank you. Cheers, Stan. Right, John. Grantham, we're okay now.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Thanks. So the bag at Grantham's now been removed, so services running through Grantham heading northbound. Normal running, normal working resumed. So that's all clear and out of the way now.
With his shift drawing to a close, Gary's hopeful that he's seen the last of the day's delays.
We're pulling round slowly but surely. It's a lot better than it was about 3 hours or so ago. I've got about an hour and a half to go, so yeah, hopefully we're over the worst of today, so I can go home and have a nice bite to eat at home at tea.
It's not just the control centre staff that troubleshoots problems on the line. East Coast also has a team of roving engineers who work behind the scenes, making sure the network runs smoothly. In Peterborough, train fitter Alistair is on call.
I like fixing things, yeah.
When a driver reports a mechanical issue, Alistair rides the rails to diagnose the problem.
It's something different every day. It's what helps to make it interesting.
Today, Alistair's tending a locomotive with a faulty speedometer. The reading jumps erratically from 125 up to 140 miles an hour.
It keeps jumping up every now and then at certain bends and things, causing the drivers a bit of consternation. And it's usually a problem with one of these probes where the cables have got crushed or have partly damaged. I've opened the door so I can actually see what the speedo's doing, see when it does actually jump. If you look at the speedo, you'll see it's doing 140 miles an hour.
Relax, passengers, it's not actually going that speed, it's just a faulty reading.
Even when it was doing that, I couldn't really get a satisfactory reading from any of the probe. I'll have to wait and see if it does it again.
And don't worry that there's no driver. That's because Alistair is in the training car at the back of the train. Halfway to London, the probe picks up the problem.
If you notice there that the figures are dancing about all over the place, that's the actual voltage output from number 4 probe, and it's not as steady as it should be. Something not right there. I think what we'll do, we'll ask the maintenance control, see if we can get the probe on number 4 axle changed tonight, and see if that cures it.
The fault is found and reported. Alistair's patience and persistence have paid off.
The whole idea of the job is to make sure that the service runs as efficiently as possible with the least amount of delay to the passenger.
Cheers. Ta-da.
Unbeknown to the travelling public, Alistair packs up and quietly slips off the train, leaving no trace behind.
You're always behind the scenes, never at the front, sort of just trying to keeping your head down, getting your hands dirty and mending things.
And that's how he likes it.
Where are you travelling to, sir? Newcastle. Newcastle, yeah, if you go to this next door and walk through it, they'll be going shortly, sir.
While train fitter Alistair operates behind the scenes, the train guard's role is front and centre. Kane's been a guard for a year, and one thing he's learnt about the job is...
every day is different on the railway.
He may be just a ticket collector to you, but this guy is primed for every eventuality.
This is the ticket printing machine. We accept credit cards, have a scanner. For the new print at home tickets, these are the all-important ticket stampers, the T-key and the T-key holder. This is to open your panels. And my awkwardly positioned torch, so it's just a lamp for dispatch in the dark. It's sets to either clear light, green light or red light for emergencies. Oh, whistle. And that's just not an ID card, it's also a PTS card. That little box at the bottom proves I've passed my own personal track safety test. And the hair's always got to look good.
Kane is an on-board superhero, ready for any mission.
The lights have got out in carriage C.
In carriage C?
Yeah, so every time we go through a tunnel, we're in complete darkness.
Oh, right, I'll come down straight away and sort that.
Or something, so.
We've probably gone through a section where the power's been lost, but I'll...
By the time the passengers caught up with Kane and carriage C, the problem's been sorted.
We're getting to York.
Emergency over.
Emergency over. The problem is fixed. There's a thing on the railway, never say something's fixed, because we work on jinx. When I first started as a guard, I was jinxed for the first few weeks. Touch wood. Not been a jinx since, you know. Checking all tickets, please.
A jinx, you say, Kane? It would appear that railway people are a superstitious lot.
Oh.
Old team plumbing.
Yeah, ticket in the coffin.
I've never done that before, ever.
As the train approaches Peterborough, Kane faces yet another headache. This time it's a problem with the doors.
Nope. Panel's not working.
Kane flies into action.
I just do a little jog, I'm a bit flustered. I did a marathon last year, believe it or not, and I'm not as fit as I want.
It's a mad Saturday night, and Pam reads the riot act.
No, one more, and you're off the station.
And Julie goes full throttle to stop an accident in the making.
You never know what's going to happen. You never know what each carriage could unfold. You're going into each carriage blind as much, and you're on your own as well, so if something does unfold in front of you, you have to think fast. Our job can be compared to a counsellor, a policeman, a security guard. Each scenario requires you to wear a different cap.
Being a train guard might look simple, but it's a demanding and complex job. The most important duty is safety.
Initially, I'd take my lead off the driver, but if anything was to happen to the driver, then I would be in charge of passenger safety, organising emergency services, protecting the line, because that's the main thing. You know, if something were to happen on a train, you have to stop traffic. That's the first thing that you do, which is why we have in here, they are track safety clips. And they're the ones that will be put on each side of the track, and they'll turn the signal ahead to red and the one behind, so it stops train traffic.
A guard must be equipped for whatever gets thrown at him, even canine management.
Oh, calm down, calm down, calm down. I've been put on dog sitting patrol, so I'm having a lot of firsts today. A lot of firsts. Now this is a rare occasion that I get asked to dog sit. Oh, bless it, it's shaking. Is the guy still gone because I'm taking this dog? Oh, no, I'm taking the dog. Caught in the red-handed, I'm going to take that dog up.
The train arrives at Newcastle and Kane's clocking off.
I bought Lord of the Rings on Blu-ray yesterday, so I'm going home to chill. Probably get a couple or 3 or 4 packets of cookies on the way home and just nosh to my heart's content. Right, see you later. See you later, Paul.
Kane can kick back and relax, knowing he's done a good day's work. But for other East Coast staff, the working day is just beginning. York Station is one of the busiest on the East Coast line. 5.8 million passengers pass through the station each year. If there's one shift that's guaranteed to be lively, it's Saturday night. Information controller Julie finds it one of the most unpredictable shifts of her week.
Yeah, I do. I like Saturdays. It's entertaining, so it's a really good shift. We'll be busy about 5 o'clock onwards, right through till after 10 o'clock with hen parties, stag parties, just people out for days out drinking. So you just got to keep your eye on them, chance to fall on the track or just be stupid when the train comes in, so you just got to be vigilant with them at all times. It must be a dressy up for tonight, getting ready, but I won't come on station with rollers in, that's for sure. Rail 7 to 9.
A last-minute track reassignment puts Julie on the alert.
Come on, let's run.
2 trains are coming in on platform 9, one right after another. Julie has to make sure passengers don't get on the wrong train.
This is going to be organised chaos on here at the moment because we've got a Newcastle coming in now and we've got a London coming in straight after. So we've got to make sure that they don't get on the wrong train and tell them. Where are you going? See, in this one I said it's the second train, not this one. See, that's what I mean, confusion. Rail 7 to Rail 3, any chance you can ask the guard to do an announcement to say this is the Newcastle, not the London service? This isn't the Doncaster, it's the next one. This is a Newcastle service.
But there's only so many people Julie can take care of.
She's on the wrong train, that lady, now. Keep away! Number 5 for London now. 5, just through there. Anybody for London, number 5? Anybody for the London
Julie barely has a moment's pause before she's on the run again.
Hang on. There's a gentleman on, it's just come off train on 3. I don't know if he's fallen or something, but the guys just said he might have broke his leg or broke hurt some ligaments, so he just needs a wheelchair to get him to the taxi rank to the hospital. So we'll just go and see what's happened. Oh. Can you not get up? Hang on.
No, but...
I'll get somebody to come and help me. Are you sure?
Yeah, it's fine.
Hang on.
Oh.
All right, hang on, I'll get it for you. Where you come from? Oh, no, they're slowest trains.
Yeah.
Oh, bless.
Hi. Thank you very
All
much.
right, you're welcome. I hope you're better.
Never made it here, ain't you?
He got his injury playing football, he said. He thinks he's pulled a ligament in his leg, because I thought at one stage it might have been broken. But he said he's going home, maybe have a hot bath and see how he goes, and then he might go to the hospital. All right, see you later. Bye. So that's another thing on a Saturday night, but at least he was really nice, a nice bloke, and that for helping him.
In Newcastle, customer service assistants Pam and Claire are in the midst of Saturday night shenanigans.
Have you had a good night? Yeah? Yeah? No. Oh, you've got to be nice.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Careful, boys, keep it clean.
No. Nope. No. Nope, we don't have that. Mummy instincts came out there, did you see? No. There's young ladies. Nope. We don't have swearing. No. Oi. One more, oh, you can't and you're off the station. I love my Doris. Oh.
On the other side of the platform, Pam and Claire spot an all too familiar sight.
Stephen, you better get your mop out. Steve, you might want to put at least a cone in front of him. Every weekend, it's a common thing, and unfortunately, it's our colleagues that have to go and clear it up. Not a nice job.
Just another Saturday night in Newcastle. Back in York, Julie's eagle eye spots a potential disaster and she's back running.
Quickly! On or off! Quick, quick! No! You'll have to get on or off! On or off! Move back! No! Off the track! Off! Some ladies, the girls who was already on the train was holding the doors. It was their mates that came at last minute. She went, as the train was going, she went to try and push the door open. Well, she had a few drinks. If she'd have slipped, she'd have been right down the side of the train and she'd probably have been killed. So that's why I ran down to try and stop her from getting on. And that's my shift finished. And I'm absolutely tired out, running about. But it's been a good night and a good shift, so I've enjoyed it.
You've earned your stripes tonight, Julie. The great British love affair with train travel is as old as the railways themselves. From the beating heart of London's metropolis to the majesty of the Scottish Highlands, connecting coast and countryside with our great cities, the East Coast Line has it all.
Disregard that, it's a glitch.
But it's the people who give life to this railway.
I trust you.
British public are the best form of entertainment on the planet.
The East Coast Line carries 19 million passengers a year on 155 train journeys a day, along almost 1,000 miles of track. East Coast is the largest operator on the line. It runs trains, manages stations, and employs nearly 3,000 staff.
That's all you do it all day. I'm not playing with you while you're showing off.
The East Coast workforce toils tirelessly.
Handy bags, please.
From driving trains...
Look at this office window. Fantastic.
...to making breakfasts...
I've cooked that much bacon over the years. Surprised I haven't turned into a pig.
...to controlling the whole train set.
Morning. That's absolutely excellent, Graham.
Keeping everything on track behind the scenes and in public.
I've been standing here for half an hour.
These are the real heroes of the railway. There's one weekend that the staff of East Coast trains dread more than any other.
The train will get a delay, definitely.
A weekend that brings delays, cancellations, distraught customers, and no end of hassles for the staff.
Very, very busy. The queue is very enormous. Oh, the whole station is crowded.
Welcome to the long Easter weekend. The only weekend that strikes fear into the heart of even the most seasoned employees across the entire East Coast network.
What the? Hang on a minute.
Whether in the control centre...
On the weekends as busy as this, the objective is for it to go as smoothly as possible.
On the platform...
We're doing a job, we're getting money for our families. We're not here, we don't want any hassle.
Or on board the trains.
Your ticket is for standard and this is first class.
Over this bank holiday, every train carriage is booked to capacity, and the staff up and down the line are primed to face whatever the British public can throw at them.
They'll not let passengers off, you see, till they cuff them or they get them under control.
Oh, and it's snowing. So all in all, the perfect ingredients for utter chaos. It's the morning of Maundy Thursday, traditionally East Coast's busiest day of the year. And the holiday hordes have begun to descend upon King's Cross Station. Today, over 19,000 passengers will try to squeeze into 75 trains, desperate to make the most of their Easter break. And bracing itself for this mass migration is the station's frontline team, which will be doing everything humanly possible to process the crowds and get Britain moving through the mayhem.
The busiest time of year at King's Cross, Christmas and the New Year period, and Easter. Easter tends to be busier overall because there's not a sort of run-up to it. We have Good Friday and Maundy Thursday is the busiest day. And people tend to want to go away on either one of those 2 days for a long weekend.
Even with the East Coast All-Stars out in force, some best-laid plans are already going astray.
Have a nice trip, sir. Okay, happy Easter to you. You okay there, sir?
Customer service assistant Joe has jumped into the passenger fray, guiding customers through their last-minute ticket purchases before panic or confusion take hold.
You need help there? Where are you traveling?
One single, please, to Wellington system.
Yeah, let me sort you out. You just go this way. Most of the Easter weeks in East Coast is always very, very busy. Our job is to make sure we meet our customer expectations, we make them very, very happy, especially with Easter week. Have a nice weekend, madam. In a couple of hours, it will be very, very busy. The whole station will be chaos. But we are very prepared. I've been doing this job for 9 years. I like working with people. It's something I love very much. I love talking to people and helping them as well. I will take you to the counter. Just come with me to the counter.
But for one passenger, the Maundy Thursday madness is all too much.
Oh my God, it's my best friends. We're going away to celebrate their wedding.
No, it's very okay. We're on the case.
I'm
So you
getting
just have to
sorted.
calm down. You don't have to cry.
The customer is on her way to her best friend's wedding, But she just realized she should have printed her own online tickets at home, and her train is about to board.
That's what I was
Nothing
checking.
to worry about it. I can solve the solution. Can you please check the confirmation on your email, on your BlackBerry?
I got it because it doesn't save my emails that far back. I didn't press print at home. I pressed print at the station. I know what it did.
She bought her ticket on internet, and then it was print a home ticket.
Yeah. No, I didn't press
Madam,
print
you
at
don't need to
home.
cry. You need to calm down. What you've done.
I
is
didn't
going to-
press print at home. I know I didn't press print at home. I'd never print at home.
Here you go. You got a print at home ticket.
Thank you.
Okay, sorted anyway, okay?
Yes, thank you very much.
Because when I look at it, I knew that it was print a home ticket.
Not a good start to the weekend.
That's okay. It's a good
Can
start.
only get better.
It's getting better now.
Thank you so much. Have an amazing Easter. Thank you for making my day. Thank you both.
Bye-bye, madam. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Thank you.
I always like happy ending anyway.
Finally, everything has been done, and she's very happy.
In the ticket office, tickets are swapping hands left, right, and center. But behind the scenes, never was so much work for so many done by so few.
What I'm doing here is that I'm ripping all the tickets ready as the reservations to go on board the train. We print them, but they've got to be ripped by hand. We do an average of 29,000 labels a day.
His name is Peter, and they call him the fastest ticket tearer in the East.
Coming as it is now at Easter, we're probably doing about 34,000 a day. It's just continuous process all day. That's all you're doing all day.
And you need to see the speed that he gets.
As I say, it's a good job. It keeps you going. As you can see, the pile is building up there now. That pile doubles just for one train.
Next time you reserve a seat, spare a thought for Peter and his lightning hands.
Steve, there's a lady at the taxi drop-off point. She needs help. We need 2 VR wheelchairs and 1 luggage. If you could just maybe get a trolley ready over.
Anne is normally behind the scenes running the East Coast Assisted Travel Department. But today, because it's the busiest day of the year, it's all hands on deck, and she's helping her team on the front line.
What I'm doing now is to book jobs for people that have booked their assistance, whether it's with luggage, with wheelchair, with prams, etc. So that goes on throughout the day. So today, there is 119 book jobs coming throughout the day. Can I borrow you to do me a couple of jobs? Yes. Yeah? This is my little additional page, and that could end up being a full page by the end of the day. So the aim is anyone who's asked for assistance, we give them the assistance there. They are not left on the train, they are not met. That's what we do. So the boys and girls are running around like crazy, making sure everyone's met.
Because once the platform's open, everybody runs, you know, if it as well. I wouldn't mind, but I'm only going up for... Are you smiling? I didn't even know where I was when I came in.
Oh, so you know now, yeah? That's the old business.
Yeah.
King's Cross is the East Coast Line's largest station, and some passengers need a little help to navigate its 7,000 square meters and find the right platform.
Are we here now?
Yeah, we're doing that, miss. Thank you, take care. Go with next. Bye-bye.
There is not a single train or platform change at King's Cross that is not under the beady eye of the backroom boys in central control. Today, the entire East Coast network is in the hands of Duty Operations Manager Robin, a man who dreams of a quiet life.
It's boarding. That's absolutely excellent, Graham. Thank you very much for that news. He's approaching Potter's Bar as we speak.
Robin has been doing this long enough to be wary of the holiday weekend.
It's a day of heightened awareness because we know we've got more people travelling. We stretch our diagrams so we have additional trains from London to Newcastle, and we also have an additional later train from Edinburgh to London King's Cross. Obviously, on a weekend as busy as this, the objective is for it to go as smoothly as possible, and fingers crossed, hopefully it will all go according to plan.
But Robin's a seasoned pro, and he knows that the likelihood of a carefree Easter is very slim.
One of the lads took it a little bit too far. He actually grabbed her head. That isn't right. That's assault to me.
The cathedral city of York is one of the busiest stations on the East Coast Line. At the start of Easter weekend, one of the busiest weekends in the travel calendar, it's an especially popular destination. Most days you'll find guardian angel Julie helping travellers down on the platform, and when necessary on the track.
There you go. All right.
But today, Yorkshire lass Julie is nowhere to be seen. She's hidden away and revealing her more refined side.
The 1229 East Coast service to London King's Cross is at platform 5. Calling at Doncaster, Newark Northgate, Peterborough and London King's Cross. A cafe, bar and trolley service are provided for our customers in first class. A complimentary offer is available. Nobody can, even family don't realise it's me. So no, I'm quite posh on there. I have my posh voice on this. And I'll just have my rough and ready voice when I'm out on platform. This is where we can see what's coming into the station, what's going out, what's delayed, and do all the announcements from here. Customers awaiting the 1234 East Coast service to Newcastle. This service today will depart on platform 5.
And while Julie uses that voice, everybody hears what she's got to say.
All right, bye. It was my boss. He said I was too loud, but it was a platform alteration. So if you don't shout, well, no, not shout, that's the wrong word. If I don't speak loudly, people miss it and they'll say, well, I never heard them announcements. Well, they will. They won't miss this one when I've shouted on it, will they?
Easter weekend means every soul in the station is at their post, not just whistleblowers and ticket inspectors, also some of the more specialised railway workers.
Do you want your shoes cleaning?
The strangest thing that's ever happened to me as a railway chaplain was coming back from Newcastle. There was a hen party on the train, and they actually thought I was the stripper gram. So they handcuffed me with pink fluffy handcuffs. And I travelled all the way to York, much to the amusement of the staff, I hasten to add, before they would release me, having then had a glass of champagne with them, and actually succumbing to undoing my clerical shirt to a certain degree, but proving that I actually was the railway chaplain. But it was a rather surreal experience.
When he's not stripping off his collar for confused hens on trains, railway chaplain Stephen likes to offer a full service, especially at Easter time. Today, he's offering a charity shoe polish.
There you go, you can see your face in those.
So everyone can be showing off a holiday shine.
My role is railway chaplain, and I serve all of the train companies. You can have your shoes cleaned if you've got time, you know, as well. Are you dashing? OK, thank you. It's a good time, actually, to talk to people about lots of different things, people travelling. It's quite a remarkable thing when you hear the stories of why people are travelling around Easter. Hiya. Well, I can give them a clean with a wipe if you want.
All right.
These are like shiny white things that just kind of give it a bit of a... People find it strange, actually, when they encounter the railway chaplain, because people never expect the railway to have one. And yet many other industries do, obviously hospital chaplains, prison chaplains. And actually my role is very much the same as all of those. It's a role where it supports and provides a listening ear, confidential, impartial. Oh yeah, look at that now.
Hey, that's fabulous now. That is brilliant.
Compared to that one.
I know.
Thank you, that's lovely. You're a star, thanking you.
It's afternoon at King's Cross Station, and it seems like the whole city is descending for the big Easter getaway. And they've come in all shapes and sizes.
I'm off to Newcastle from a stag do, and it's very cold.
So, despite record numbers of passengers, everything's moving smoothly, for the time being at least.
Bravo calling Lima, over.
Operations manager Graham is on the platform, trying to get his 9 tracks of trains out safely and on time.
Today we've got about 18,500 passengers on all of our services, just on the ones that are departing from King's Cross. A massive increase on what we would normally get throughout the day. So yeah, it makes us very busy today. And it's gradually got busier as the day's gone on, and the trains are going to now end up being full on departure from here.
So Graham is on high alert and poring over his train dispatch checklist.
We're just doing a pre-departure checks for make sure the train departs on time. Pre-departure checks are make sure the doors are closed, make sure there's no obstructions, that kind of thing. And what the? Hang on a minute. So it looks like we've got a problem with one of the watering points. Looks to be constantly blowing out water.
Just as a 2 p.m. to Aberdeen is good to go, Graham is hit by a splash of dodgy plumbing. Any hiccup could delay the train, causing an expensive knock-on effect across the network.
Platform number 1, this tanking point, it needs some immediate attention, Shaz. As soon as the guys lift it up, the water's spraying like across onto platform number 2 and over the overheads and everywhere. Well, as you can see, it's spraying water onto the platform, which ends up being a slip hazard for customers.
The train is ready to go, but the platform may have to be closed.
If there's not a quick fix available for the water, then we would look not to use platform 1. It provides tanking facilities for the whole train, so we would use alternative platforms. We only have 8 platforms available for use as opposed to 9.
Graham has been mopping up the problem, and the train is ready for departure. His last job is to make sure doors remain firmly closed, which means not everyone who wants to travel will be allowed to board.
It is. You're too late for it, though, so you've just missed it. 2 seconds, I'll come back to you. Oh, no. Sorry. Doors are locked over. Yeah, it's gone 2 o'clock. Right, you've got the wrong platform, so you want that one there. You want the one next door. This one? Yeah, there. Successfully done.
It's the middle of the afternoon, and the crowds at King's Cross are reaching fever pitch. Every traveller seems to be competing for every seat.
Yeah, this is our first really busy train of the afternoon. We've got about 70 reserved in first class and 350 reservations in standard. With about 5 minutes to go, there's people standing in the ends of the carriages already.
It's impossible to plan for spur-of-the-moment passengers or predict how much luggage they might bring. And so every seat on the Edinburgh-bound train is full and the floor is packed to capacity. That means if passengers don't reserve or arrive early, they won't be boarding their preferred train.
Do you have a seat reservation for it? No, it doesn't then. You would be able to, so you'll need to join the 16:30 because this one's already full. So this is our last departure to Aberdeen of the day. It's very busy, it's fully reserved. Passengers are going to York and Darlington. There's other services they can use, so we ask that they use them rather than using the direct departures to Aberdeen.
It's after 6 p.m. and the end of workday. Rush hour crowds crash into an already frantic station, guaranteeing that all the day's remaining trains will be packed to the gills.
Shift in, please. Make your way in. Don't block the doors, please. very, very busy. You can see yourself, you can see the lines.
The King's Cross team have already dispatched 61 trains today and have 14 more to go. But with more and more passengers turning up without tickets, the queues are getting longer and longer.
Any problem, you call for assistance on the machines, I will assist you, please.
It's getting fraught. Packed trains and crowded platforms. But East Coast's Easter Action Plan has so far kept everything on track. Always thinking ahead, station manager Gary is making sure that passengers will still be able to board already busy trains further down the line.
Can you make that 1819 and 1830 full and standing in both on both trains and standard accommodation?
Who are you phoning up? Control. All right. Okay. Are you? What's the first stop on this one?
Peterborough.
Right. So you're gonna? Do you contact?
I'll be ringing them as well. Yeah.
It's full and standing for most of this. There are a couple of emptier carriages further down. He's going to phone Peterborough up, tell them where those carriages are, so we can try and marshal people into those areas. Right, time start, so I'm happy with that. So it's great, mate. Most things have gone like clockwork, and that's largely down to the fact that the train service has been very, very good today. Very reliable.
And Monday madness comes to an end, after the staff managed to keep all the trains full and as close to time as they could.
Another Monday, Thursday finished, time for home.
The East Coast team face 4 more days of Easter mayhem.
It looks like they've opened the doors now. They'll not let passengers off, you see, till they cuff them.
The East Coast train line sees 19 million passenger journeys a year, and on Easter long weekend, it feels like everyone is travelling at once. The busiest day of the year, Monday, Thursday, is out of the way. But today is Good Friday, and as another of the busiest holiday travel days of the year, it's a roller coaster all of its own. Claire is a train guard with 15 years at East Coast under her belt.
This is where the fun begins.
And she's on an early afternoon train headed out of King's Cross on its way up to Edinburgh.
Passengers booking tickets for the wrong day.
Among the Easter hordes are many less seasoned passengers who may only hit the rails once or twice a year.
Did you make a reservation, sir?
And often board the wrong train, sit in the wrong carriage, or struggle with seat reservations.
Your ticket is for standard and this is first class.
Checking tickets becomes an unpredictable business.
So, how did you come to manage to book the wrong day?
So I think that my daughter was just getting out of school and I calculated that she was coming out on the 28th and then we could leave by the 29th.
Not a worry. Right, so where are you guys going, yeah? Scarborough?
Yeah, Scarborough, right.
Always busy on holidays and it never changes. The rail industry, I think, is becoming more and more popular with people travelling with all the flexible fares.
As well as enforcing ticketing, dispensing travel information and generally helping passengers, Claire also keeps an eye on the hardware. And as if she didn't have enough to deal with...
Didn't you know that was just going to happen? Watch that button.
Claire has spotted a door that won't shut. The train can't leave until it's closed, and delays on her watch are not an option.
So I'll have to watch at the next station because that can incur more delays. If it starts causing more problems, then I'll have to lock it out of use. Thanks, you're going in there, are you? Good afternoon, all tickets and rail cards ready, please.
Claire's real worry is the dodgy door, but there are still tickets to check.
Thank you very much. People are standing around sitting in the vestibules, so I didn't see any spare seats, so it's just classed as full. Most trains this morning, I think, by all accounts, leaving London. Very, very busy, as was yesterday, busy. And then all guys have got to come back. I see your ticket there, please. Ricardo, hopefully you'll get a seat sometime. When it's really, really busy, you can't really get through the whole of the train, so you're not attending to everybody's needs. Well, you can do your job, but you just feel like you're constantly chasing your tail.
Claire's train is nearing Doncaster, halfway through its 330-mile journey. And as if a jam-packed train and a mixed bag of ticket demands weren't enough to deal with, she still has to contend with the dodgy door in Coach D.
When I come to dispatch here, I'll shut the doors, and if the same thing happens again like I did at Peterborough, then I'll just have to go and run and close it. And then if it is going to continue to do that, then I'll have to lock it out. I've just realised I haven't got my company mobile yet. It's this door, this is the problem. That's why that's there. So it's obviously been a full with it before. No passengers can use this door now, they'll just have to use the other door, and then it saves us getting delayed.
And Claire is thinking further down the line by keeping the control centre in the door repair loop.
Vehicle number 12468, and it is door A for Alpha. It's been locked out of use due to it not being able to close properly en route. Okay, thank you, bye-bye.
Claire's not the only guard struggling through a stressful Good Friday shift. Up the line, just outside of York, train guard Michael has got his hands full.
Tickets there, please. Thank you.
Trying to check the tickets of 500-plus standing room-only customers wedged into every available square foot of space.
As it is, it's still pretty much full and standing all the way through the train.
You're looking for a little bit of carpet to actually sit on because people standing, sitting, and you've got luggage all over the place. Probably 90% of the people that's in the vestibules has actually got super off-peak tickets, saver tickets. It's up to them whether they take reservations or not, or ask for them. The majority of people don't, and then they just expect just to get on the train and get a seat. Unfortunately, when it comes to the Easter bank holiday, you know, the chance of finding a seat is really, really difficult, you know what I mean?
Back on Claire's northbound Edinburgh train, her busiest shift of the year is coming to a close.
See, this never got me today. It has got many people, but it hasn't got my tune.
As the train pulls into Newcastle station and one Claire heads home, another Claire is taking the platform. Claire, too, has been working on the railway for just under 20 years. Tonight, she'll be dispatching all the Good Friday trains.
Oh, stand clear! Excuse me! Stand back! Honest truth, a really, really bad shift. I think it's going to be really busy with the Easter holidays and obviously hen parties and stag do's. I think we're going to get quite a lot. I do think they'll get drunk as the day goes on as well, so I think we'll get quite a lot of drunk people, and I think it'll be an interesting one.
And the first incident of the evening is calling ahead to announce itself.
Do you know what it's in connection with, Darren?
No idea, I dare see the colours, man.
All right, thanks. There's a terminating service coming from King's Cross. The police have been called to it. I've asked Darren if he knows why they're being called, but we don't know yet. I think Pamela's just away up to have a word with the police officers.
4 males who've been causing problems on the train and spat on a victim. So it looks like it's going to be assault.
The police have just got on. Obviously, we can't do anything. It looks like they've opened the doors now. They'll not let passengers off, you see, till they cuff them or they get them under control. I've been spat on before as well, mind. I have been spat on, and it's horrendous. It's horrible. It's like a violation. It's not right. But we used to have, I don't know if they've still got the spit kits, but I got spat on when somebody was actually leaving Newcastle. So really, it was pointless. I didn't really report it, if I'm honest, because it was just.
I got
a shock.
On, but the went to spit on my face.
It's not nice.
But I turned so that actually spat in my hair.
Are you all right? Are you sure? Just checking you are all right. So did you split them up? Did you put them in different carriages?
Yeah, well, they bought the alarm and then I got complaints about them. So I went through there, I gave them 2 options. I said I was going to kick them all off or they can sit in different carriages. Yeah.
Despite all the aggro, Claire loves her job and wouldn't swap it for the world.
I only came for the summer season and I'm still here 18 years later. What's going on there? Can you imagine doing anything else us now? Nah. Do you know what I love? It's not about like the job. It's, yeah, the job's great, but it's like the people I work with as well. I just find them really funny, and I can't work in an office now. It would kill me, that, having to sit looking at the clock. All right?
A typical Friday night on the East Coast Line is always lively.
So one chap once, he'd walked into the pasty shop opposite my information point, he'd got a coffee, been told by the police he needed a coffee to sort of sober up before he could get on the train. He walked out of the pasty shop and tripped over an invisible step, straight on his face, coffee everywhere, and I don't think he managed to get on a train that night.
It's nightfall on Good Friday at Newcastle Station, and some of the passengers looked like they'd been partying for a few hours already.
All right, watch your own fall, lads, all right? Stick to the side, OK?
Claire's first stag do of the evening is more like a stagger do, and a bit like herding over friendly sheep.
You're all right, I'll just keep you that way. Just so I know you're safe. All right? Just so I know you're safe. I had to dispatch the train, and he was talking away and asking how old I was and would I go on a date. So it does put you off, I'm not going to lie. It's not going to put you off. But at the end of the day, I've got a job to do.
Yeah, yeah.
There, he's got one, look. You get their happy drunks, they're culpable drunks, they're chatting you up drunks, OK. But you do get some really aggressive ones that are quite scary.
Platform drama in Newcastle as Good Friday goes bad.
No, it's upset Pam. She's away now. Why treat her like that? I don't understand it.
It's been an eventful Good Friday at Newcastle Station. Customer service assistants Claire and Pam are trying to dispatch one of their final trains of the evening. But in an instant, Good Friday turns bad.
Right, go on. Yeah. Oh, now you are. No. Wait. No. Listen.
What about?
Yeah.
That's my brother-in-law.
Well, that's on camera, and that could be taken away.
She's not me.
Go enjoy your night. Go on.
I'm only 17. I'm funny. Childlike.
One of the lads, I think he took it a little bit too far. One of them gave her a cuddle, and then the brother came in, but he actually grabbed her head. And to me, that isn't right. That's assault to me. I don't think anyone should be like grabbing your head. You know, they go too far. It's upset Pam. She's away now. I just think that's out of order. Why treat her like that? I don't understand it, and I don't think I ever will, really. And I do get annoyed about it, and I do feel like we don't get a lot of respect at times. And I think, you know, yeah, we're standing there blowing a whistle, but we're doing a job, we're getting money for our families. We're not here, we don't want any hassle. We want to get people away on trains on time. You know, we're just doing a job, we wear a uniform, but we're all human beings at the end of the day, and there's no need for that. It does annoy us, I'm not going to lie.
East Coast has hundreds of CCTV cameras on trains and platforms to help protect its staff, and it takes assaults seriously.
I reported it, but most of the time, which in that case, by the time you report it, he's left the station, so there's not a lot you can do, really. You've just got to put it to your back of the mind and get on with your job.
Sometimes I go home and I can't switch off, and I think tonight I might not switch off. I might have just a nice cup of coffee, sit down, relax, and sometimes on late it takes us a while to go to bed, because I often think about what's happened during the shift.
Good Friday ends on a sour note for Claire and Pam. But elsewhere on the East Coast Line, a bright and clear Easter Saturday morning brings hope for a happy reunion.
One of the things I really like about being a train driver, you're seeing people get off the train
and you're seeing people run up to the people that are there meeting at the station, and you know, they run up to each other and they hug each other, and it's just wonderful because you think, actually, I've been a part of bringing these people together, and it's so nice to do.
Train journeys and romance have long travelled hand in hand, and East Coast's hundreds of miles of track see their fair share of long-distance love affairs. For Joyce, a school teacher from north of Inverness, and Steve, a postman from Barnsley, the East Coast Line ensures that even 400 miles of separation can't keep them apart.
So you're looking forward to seeing me?
It's been a few weeks since the long-distance sweethearts last saw each other. Now, on Easter Saturday, Joyce still has 2 trains and hundreds of miles to go, while Steve has a couple of hundred deliveries before catching his train to meet her.
I'm going down from Inverness to Doncaster to spend Easter with Steve and his folks.
The couple have been dating for 4 years, and their railway reunions have a special significance. A train was the stage for their very first brief encounter.
I was going down to Edinburgh for a friend's son's first communion, and I just noticed this chap opposite me, and we started chatting.
Talked about anything really, hello and have a seat that's free. And
he said, oh, I meant to get off at Inverkeithing. And I must admit, I thought, oh, that's a shame.
There was an older gentleman struggling into a coach, and by the time he'd sat down to clear the gangway, it was too late because the train doors were shut. And I went, ah, panic.
And the next thing, people in the carriage were saying, oh, he's missed his stop, he's missed his stop. And I said, oh, it's nothing to do with me, I don't know him. To which the whole carriage just burst out laughing because it was obvious we'd been chatting, you know, all the way down. When we got to Edinburgh, he handed me a little card with his contact details on, and he said, if there's ever anything I can do for you, or anything I can do to help you, just let me know. And I just thought that was so sweet.
Well, it worked out very well, didn't it? It was one of those chance meetings to start with, and it just got better.
How are you? What's your back? You're late.
You've always been out of trouble.
I dropped the bunny.
Oh, you never dropped the bunny?
I did, I dropped the bunny.
Thank you.
Oh. You're embarrassing me.
Good.
Finally, Easter Monday. Families have been visited, adventures have been had, and a heroic amount of chocolate has been consumed. Now it's time for tens of thousands of long weekend travellers to board an East Coast train and head for home.
That's lovely. Thank you very much. Do you have the ticket that goes with it as well, please? Lovely. Excellent.
Train guard Claire is on a London-bound afternoon express and is overseeing a very different kind of holiday crowd than she encountered on Good Friday.
It's very busy, yeah. Everybody's in a quiet mode today because they've probably been burning a candle at both ends.
In a quiet moment that express trains sometimes allow, Claire makes some light refreshments for the man in the driving seat.
That's the journey we're bit for them. For 3 hours in the seat just staring out the window. Especially how we don't stop anyway. Just get breaks it up for them a bit. Just put some biscuits and little goodies in there for them. There's a cup of tea for you. And some biscuits. All right? Okay. I'll see you later on. Take care.
out on the platform at Newcastle, train guard Adrian is going to be looking after one of the last services of the Marathon Easter weekend, and he's got a special reason for looking forward to getting home.
Yeah, getting home tonight's going to be a late one. By the time we get home, it'll be 11:30, so it's getting back again for the missus, because we've only got 3 weeks left now before she's due to give birth to our fourth, so there's little disruption between here and London, the better for me, so I can get straight back. Feels like it could be any day. Hoping that baby will arrive on a day off, not when I'm in Newcastle, waiting to go back on a train hundreds of miles away. Here she comes. Let's have a look. So hopefully it's not too busy inside. Thank you, good evening, thank you. That's great, thank you very much. Cheers. There we are, thank you very much. Sorry guys, can I squeeze through there please? Thank you very much. It's quite strange, although I've got, say, 284 people around, it's actually quite a quiet train really. Everyone's very quiet, happy sat doing their own thing. So it's quite a subdued train. Must have been a busy weekend for everybody. Can I make my way that way please? That's all right please, thank you. It's a big difference from a Friday night train with 400 people on there with loud and parties and balloons. And this one's just a very chilled, calm, mellow train. Love it, yeah. Thank you, cheers.
Adrian always wears his guard's uniform with pride, but you'll never believe what lies beneath.
I've got a few tattoos. On my arm, I've got my daughter's name, which is Willow May. She's 3 years old now. And my eldest daughter, she's going to be 9 in a few weeks. So I've got some flowers and some bits there for my girls. And then on the other arm, I've got my son's name, which is a bit more bare. I've got my son's name written down there because he's going to be 11 in August. I've got space there because for my newborn when she's born. So it'll be violet along there, maybe in violet, maybe, or some flowers. I think 4 will be enough. Yeah, I will end up covered in names. So, like a dictionary or a name book. Ladies and the gentlemen, we are now on the approach to London King's Cross. My third, she was born 2 weeks early. So we're heading into that kind of zone now. We've got 18 days to go till this one's due. But that is me done for the night now.
The long Easter weekend is over for another year. The great British love affair with train travel is as old as the railways themselves. From the beating heart of London's metropolis to the majesty of the Scottish Highlands. Connecting coast and countryside with our great cities, the East Coast Line has it all.
Disregard that, it's a glitch.
But it's the people who give life to this railway.
Come on, Frisco, I trust you.
British public are the best form of entertainment on the planet.
The East Coast Line carries 19 million passengers a year on 155 train journeys a day, along almost 1,000 miles of track. East Coast is the largest operator on the line. It runs trains, manages stations, and employs nearly 3,000 staff.
That's all you're doing all day. I'm not playing with you while you're showing off.
The East Coast workforce toils tirelessly.
Mandy backs, please. boys!
From driving trains...
Look at this office window. Fantastic.
...to making breakfasts...
I've cooked that much bacon over the years. Surprised I haven't turned into a pig.
...to controlling the whole train set.
Morning. That's absolutely excellent, Graham. Thank you very much for that news.
Keeping everything on track behind the scenes and in public.
I've been standing here for half an hour.
These are the real heroes of the railway. There's a very special breed of dedicated people who eat, sleep and breathe the railway.
How many people have that view when they go to work?
Stop running!
This is the Newcastle service.
First, there are the drivers and the engineers who look after the trains.
Right, Jim, you can see that level of valves up already.
Every single day of the year, that wire is live at 25,000 volts.
You've done it already?
It's down to them to ensure the safety and comfort of all passengers across the entire rail network.
We've got BN12 coming in now. It's already about 40 minutes late. I have to get the boys on this and work around the clock. Those are the things that can go wrong.
And then there are the train spotters, who eagerly and patiently wait for hours for a glimpse of that special locomotive. All this for the love of trains. It's the dead of night at Bounds Green Engineering Depot in North London. Britain's travelling public is tucked up in bed, blissfully unaware of the mechanical wizardry taking place inside this 17-acre workshop, a hangar the size of an airport terminal.
How's that one over there, Echo? Pull it down.
24 hours a day, 364 days a year, the dedicated crew of engineers and mechanics
just do it.
Ensure that every intercity train in the East Coast fleet is in excellent working order.
Okie dokie, let's liven everything up.
Technical team leader Ray Bond
She'll be good.
is one of the engineers based at the locomotive works.
Yeah, see, she rotates through there, nice.
No, I'm not James Bond, it's just Ray Bond, and I'm not Basildon or Premium or Brooke or Uni. I'm none of those Bonds, I'm just Ray Bond. My proudest achievement is actually, it's repairing these massive trains. I say a train weighs 500 tonnes and it can come in with any manner of defects on it, and it's just an absolutely fantastic feeling to repair something and watch it go out, and knowing that the fact you have repaired it and it's going to go into London and people are going to get on that train and go somewhere.
Yeah, no, it's all good now, mate. Yep, brilliant, cheers, Goody.
Just as the trains have their timetables to keep, the Bounds Green night shift is on a tight schedule.
The day shift is sort of more relaxed. On a night shift, yeah, you are aware of time scales. You know you must get the train serviced. You've got to get it out, ready to get the next one in so that can be serviced as well.
HQ has assigned Bond his first mission of the night, the examination of the driver's cabin. There are 2 cabins attached to each locomotive. Ray's mission would not be complete without checking the braking system.
Effectively, that's just your ignition key. We'll go into what we call the auxiliary position, and that sets the locomotive up. If I move the controller forward and take power, we would eventually move forwards. So we take forwards. I can hear now all the fans are up to speed and everything. And then we can actually take power. So we just notch on, we can hear the electrical switches pick up, we can open them up. If we left that power on, eventually that power would be great enough to overcome the brakes. This particular locomotive packs 6,500 horsepower, so she's a powerful bit of kit. She weighs 84 tonnes, the train itself is about 500 tonnes, so that's why we need that 6,000 plus horsepower to get her going. But yeah, she does have enough power in her to overcome the brakes, and eventually she would move.
The train isn't moving, which means the brakes are working. Next up, if you've ever wondered what lies beneath the bonnet of an intercity train engine, now's your chance. Bond's next operation is to check out the locomotive.
Sort of a general look, knowing that everything's where it should be and everything. Obviously, you do get used to the feel of how the locomotive should be. You even get used to just the sound they make. You know when something has become loose or if something's not working correctly, it just doesn't sound right anymore. So we'll go through, just check.
The same checks need to be performed in the second cab at the other end of the engine.
Hello, it's Bond here. Who's there?
You're a smooth operator, Bond. It's now 1:45 in the morning at East Coast Engineering Depot in North London. While the country is sound asleep, the night shift is in full swing. As one train leaves, another arrives to take its place. Keeping the rolling stock organised is team leader and train fanatic Galbert, or Gilly, as his mates like to call him.
Don't forget, anything, let me know quickly. You have to love trains, you have to be dedicated, and you have to know what you're doing. I would say engineers are a special breed, yeah, because especially engineers who are working on trains. You have to have the train thing in your blood. Yeah, you have to be a railwayman. I love my job. I enjoy it very much.
One of Gilly's responsibilities is to check inside the passenger carriages.
We're looking for anything out of the ordinary that would cause passenger discomfort, as in damaged armrests, damaged seats, anything sticking out that could injure the passenger or their clothing. We found crutches, artificial legs, all kind of nonsense to find on there.
Most items are taken to lost property. Most, but not all.
We found people asleep on the train, especially in the toilets. Winter time, you find that a lot. They tend to dodge the staff when the train pulls into King's Cross. And then we have to... It's normally a struggle to get them off because they're normally drunk or whatever, asphyxiated with drugs, whatever. But we do get them off.
The night shift tackles the most dangerous job on the railway.
There's that much power, it will kill you. It's as simple as that.
It's the middle of the night at the East Coast Engineering Works depot in Bounds Green.
All right then, son? Hey, is it working all right then?
Every night the team services the fleet of electric and diesel locomotives. One of the electric-powered trains arrives needing a vital piece of equipment replaced, the pantograph. It's a metal arm housed at the top of the engine which feeds electricity from the overhead wires into the locomotive. This powers the train like a dodgem, but only 5,000 times more powerful.
On the top of the pantograph is a pantograph head. That's actually in contact with the overhead wire. Top surface of that is made of carbon. That wears as it's running under the wire. So every so many days we change it out, we put a new one on there.
Technical team leader Ray Bond teams up with engineering technician Lester for the job.
Excellent. But you're going to change the pan head, aren't you?
Yeah.
Working around electrical currents of up to 25,000 volts is one of the most dangerous jobs on the railway.
It's incredibly dangerous. These electric trains are incredibly quiet. And for all intents and purposes, when you see one sitting still like this, you think it's completely dead. but it's not. All the time, every single day of the year, that wire is live at 25,000 volts. You don't even have to touch it. Even if you just get near, it will jump. There's that much power, it will jump to you and it will kill you. It's as simple as that. There's no second chance with it. We turn off the 25,000 volts first, obviously, for safety. All these vehicles have an orange line painted on them, and effectively that's a safety line. And you do not put any part of your body above that orange safety line unless the overhead electricity has been turned off. Yep,
got it?
Got it, yep.
Well done.
Right, that's our old pan head down. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's quite a strange phenomenon. Obviously the 25,000 volts is switched off, but to actually still try and touch that wire while it's dead, it's a strange thing. Can you touch it? Oh!
I don't like touching it.
Nah, even though we all know it's dead, it's still really hard to touch it.
Another mission accomplished by Bond, Ray Bond. "325 miles north of the Bounds Green Depot, it's almost dawn at Edinburgh's Waverley Station. The first service out today is the most famous train in the East Coast Fleet, the Flying Scotsman. Named after the legendary engine that joined the two capital cities of Edinburgh and London, this 21st century version is one of the flagship services on the East Coast Line. The customer service team is on board early to ensure passengers are looked after, and like the night shift at Bounds Green, they're on a tight schedule.
So we've got to make sure we've got everybody fed and watered before final destinations. From here to Newcastle it's only an hour and 20 minutes, so we've got to fit how many get on into their breakfast before we get to Newcastle.
In charge of feeding the first-class passengers is on-board chef Scott.
At the moment we're on schedule as far as the prep's going. The trick to working in a small team in a small space is not to be a prima donna chef who's just like, this is my space and you're not allowed in it. I've worked with a few guys like that and it doesn't work. Let the games begin.
Good morning, my name is Gail Stewart. Can I have your journey today,
Flying Scotsman leaves Edinburgh at 5:40 in the morning and stops only at Newcastle before speeding its way to London, with his passengers fed, watered and ready for the working day. Almost all of his passengers are travellers who prefer to take the train rather than fly to London for business.
Typical Monday morning, quite a few passengers on board. Always a bit hectic the Monday morning getting organised. Once we get ourselves organised and the chef's organised, hopefully it will all run like clockwork. We'll see what happens. Hi there, I need your coffee for you this morning?
Coffee, please. Everything is ticking along for Gail, but customer service assistant Chris is struggling with a notoriously tricky piece of mechanical hardware.
Oh, come on. There was a bit of miscommunication between myself and the toaster. I think we burnt 9 bits of toast. You've got to stand and actually observe the bread toasting. If not, you'll end up with burnt toast.
A little bit of burnt toast never did anybody any harm.
My favourite passenger this morning. No offence. Ah, yeah, yes. You got breakfast too, didn't you? Yeah.
She enjoyed his sausage.
It's 6 a.m. at Bounds Green Engineering Depot in North London.
All right, we'll get inside and check the rest of the stuff. There you go, Jim.
Team leader Gilly and his men have the huge responsibility of checking that the braking system on every train in the depot meets the national safety standard.
When you work on a train, especially if you're working anywhere near the wheels, the brake system, you've got lives in your hands. Yeah. 300 lives in your hands every time you go near a train.
Just let me know what is not okay.
Yeah, and don't forget to check the car coupling damper. They check all on the carriage. Panels, brake pads, calipers, wheel condition, and so on.
Each train weighs over 500 tons and can seat around 500 passengers, and the brake pads need to be changed regularly. That's 25,000 brake pads every year.
That is a pair of brake pads. That's what it looks like. And they'll check for the thickness. Yeah. See the difference in thickness. If you allow them to wear too thinly, the metal bit would just rub on the metal part of the disc and crack the disc.
Passenger safety is paramount at Bounds Green. The depot runs the equivalent of an MOT assembly line, servicing up to 10 trains a night, fixing any problems and returning the engines to their stations in time for morning services.
You can see that level of valves up already. It's always a race against time. We have to beat the clock all the time.
If the night shift is late, its trains won't run on time, passengers will be delayed, and the company could incur substantial fines.
We have late departure from King's Cross, lots of complaints, trains in the wrong places. We have a sort of like knock-on effect, and that in turn would cost us money.
The train has been fixed, and Gilly needs to immediately dispatch it back to King's Cross. But there's a problem. It's not moving.
We're obviously having troubles with the signal. So we have a above flashing light and a warning siren. None of those happening.
The clock's ticking, but Gilly and his team are at the mercy of signals. It's only safe for the train to leave when the light is green. To add fuel to the fire, there's another train arriving at the depot, and it's already 40 minutes behind schedule.
We've got BN12 coming in now. It's already about 40 minutes late. I'm concerned about the time, so I have to turn this around. It's beginning to mount up now.
Gilly and his team now have to double their normal workload in only half of the usual time.
I have to get the boys on this and work around the clock to meet program.
Gilly goes back to try and solve the problem with the first train. It's still waiting to leave.
We're having a problem on the line. We can't get the signals yet to clear the train so the train can leave the depot. So Tony's going to try closing and opening the doors again.
Opening and closing the doors should reset the system.
Any joy?
There should be flashing lights and a warning siren, but nothing's happening.
Those are the things that can go wrong. It is a big problem. Slightly worrying now.
For the train to reach King's Cross in time to begin its scheduled journey, Gilly has no choice but to override the red light and dispatch the engine with extreme caution.
I'll let you deal with that.
Yeah, it's doing it now.
Yeah, all right.
Finally, after 30 minutes of delay, the train can head out to King's Cross.
It's a relief to get this one up now anywhere. I can go and have a cup of tea in peace.
It's 7 a.m. and the Flying Scotsman East Coast flagship express service from Edinburgh to London has just pulled into Newcastle, the only stop on its route. 100 more passengers board for the journey to King's Cross, and the train needs to be fully restocked in only 3 minutes. Over 36,000 business travellers use this service every year. Nothing less than excellence is demanded by passengers and staff alike, especially in first class.
Typical day at the office, you go up for a passenger who's needing coffee, you go up and it's tea. What should be in that one? coffee. Guess what? Tea. Tea.
Yeah, it looks like coffee. It's coffee. I'm here all week, by the way. Yeah. That shouldn't taste like tea.
Third time lucky for yourself.
Go for it. Thank you.
After just 4 hours, the Flying Scotsman completes his 325-mile early morning workout and pulls into King's Cross on time. And while the passengers begin their working day, 7 miles north at the engineering works in Vans Green, Ray and the night shift team are ending theirs.
When we finish the shift and we've got an empty depot, we know that we've done what we're paid to do, really. For me, that's my shift over. I shall now make my way home and have a well-deserved sleep, I think, and yeah, get up and get ready to do it all over again this evening.
Thunderbirds are go. Going back in time, that is.
Saying that's a classic one, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Proper railway.
And York Station faces the invasion of the train spotters.
That's exactly how steam trains should be.
East Coast Trains takes 19 million passengers up and down 936 miles of track every year. As part of a £1.6 billion network rail upgrade, a section of the London to Edinburgh mainline route is being diverted. Driver Steve can't start using the detour until he completes a test drive of the new route using what's known as a Thunderbird locomotive.
Stations, signals, route, crossings, just get them all off, and basically then when we get to the end, it's am I ready for being assessed and passed out.
Steve must negotiate the journey from Peterborough to Lincoln and back.
There we go.
And with instructor Mario at his shoulder.
It worked.
Thunderbirds are go. That's right, mirror signal maneuver.
What a lovely day. So through Eastfield, Others Way.
Steve needs to memorise all level crossings, new signals and slower speed limits.
960.
The differences between this route and the main line are, one is, it's sort of more rural. When it's dark, it really is dark. There's not as many landmarks, sort of towns and villages that we're going through, which are good landmarks for you, particularly in foggy, when it's dark, in them sort of conditions. And it's a lot slower. And sometimes I find the faster you go, it's easier to learn a route, actually, than when you're actually pootling around at this sort of 55 mile an hour.
The Thunderbird is used for rescuing stranded engines and training new drivers. It can pull up to 3,000 tons and reach a top speed of 125 miles an hour.
Here we go, proper railway.
It's not just about staying on track.
Littleworth, distance signal, off. Do you want me to do restricted commentary?
No, keep going.
Driving an older line, Steve also has to get acquainted with vintage technology.
Insane, that's a classic one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And obviously you can see the difference between seeing that and seeing one of the new LED colour lights is tremendous, really, the sighting of them and everything.
Yeah, but it still works, doesn't it?
Oh, it still works, yeah. And to me, this is the skill of us, isn't it, as drivers? You know where they are and everything like that, whereas
yeah,
some colour lights just make it that tad easier. I can kill more pheasants with one of these than Edwards can with his shotgun.
Since the birth of the railways, a rare breed has been observed lurking in railway stations, a species that loves trains and all that they stand for. This breed is commonly known as the train spotter.
Oh, my name's Ian Willoughby, I'm 27 years old. I've been train spotting for about 20 years now, just over.
Train enthusiasts, as they prefer to be known, log serial numbers of each coach or locomotive they see. Ian highlights numbers already printed out in a handbook that one of his train spotting mates created.
I take the data file with me everywhere I go, just in case I see something different and I can mark it off there and then, rather than sitting for hours at a time when I get home at 11, 12 o'clock midnight, marking them all off.
To some he may be a figure of fun, but Ian is proud to be a train spotter.
I call it train spotting. There's a lot of people that won't call it train spotting because train spotting brings that sort of stereotypical anorak, flask of tea, notebook sort of thing. But it's moved on obviously with technology as well. Today, Ian's on the lookout for a rare steam train that will be stopping at York. Today, I'm here for the Great Britain 6 rail tour. It's a 9-day trip around the UK. Today's the last day of it, and it's all steam, 100% steam locomotive. It's round about 20 minutes away from where I am now, according to the website.
So Ian waits and waits and waits and waits.
It's just whistled. It's just on its way in now. Brilliant, isn't it? It's pretty special, isn't it?
Ian is by no means alone in his passion for the great age of steam. The Union of South Africa was built in Doncaster in 1937 and was one of the fastest locomotives of its time.
Basically now what's happening is this engine here is coming off and they're going to put another one exactly the same type as this one, another A4, bit onto the front of it. I've been on a few steam trains, yeah. I'm actually going on one in September from Crewe up to Perth.
Once the engines are swapped, Ian can head off on the second leg of his big adventure.
The plan now is to get the train to Doncaster. I have to get this train because it gets to Doncaster about 20 minutes before this does, and then I'll see it come through Doncaster at a fair rate of knots, hopefully. Doncaster, yeah.
Due to the engineering works on the main line from Peterborough to Lincoln, East Coast train driver Steve is learning a new temporary route. He's training in the Thunderbird locomotive with his instructor Mario.
There we go. Just walk everybody up now.
He's just dropped his coffee in the house.
Right. I don't like blowing on here because they're all retired people at this side.
Where?
Bungalows. If you look, all workers live on the right-hand side and all retired ones are on the left.
Steve's training is interrupted by a red light. At each signal, Mario needs to get out of the cab and call the control room to ensure the line ahead is clear. All very 20th century.
Hello, sir. It's driver off this 0 Papa 07 again at your Mike Golf number 3, sir. Right. So you're going to give me a Mike Golf number 3 signal, and when we get it, we're going to approach Cherry Holt. When we get to Cherry Holt crossing, we're going to not cross over it until it is safe to do so, and go over it at caution. When we get over the crossing, we're actually going. Then we're all right to carry on as normal. Cheers. Thank you very much, sir.
You keep saying that when you get on phone, don't you?
Oh, yes,
hello.
He says good morning, puts me straight on.
Lincoln Station.
So 65 miles and 1 hour later, how did Steve do, Mario?
Wow. How much is that worth? Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, he's fine.
He's only slapped me twice. So
I did have dark hair though, first day. No, he's fine. We're fine.
Job's a good one.
We can drive in this gun.
A train-loving artist takes the biggest gamble of her career.
The moment of no return now.
And driver Graham is crowned king of the rails.
I sit in the best seat of the house because I have everything in front of us.
Ian the train spotter is on his way from York to Doncaster for a second glimpse of his favourite steam locomotive.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We shall be arriving into Doncaster Station. If you are leaving the service here, please.
It's the magic of the steam train, really. It's something that you don't see very often. I think that's what draws people to it. It's it's something completely different. It's the history of it, British engineering, the sense of grand design that you don't seem to get on the trains these days. Basically now just going to wait for the steam train to come from York. It's about 10 minutes away, hopefully. So with any luck, shouldn't be long before it'll come flying through here.
Train spotting is a waiting game, and having the patience of a saint always pays off. And sure enough, there in the distance...
I think that's the smoke from it. See that? He sort of... Oh, whoa. Yeah. That's exactly how steam trains should be. That was pretty special to me. That's one of the reasons I do spotting. See something different that's not a regular occurrence, something rare, especially at that kind of speed, just doing what it should, doing what it was built to do. Working a proper train from York to London on the main line, exactly what it's all about.
In Whitby, North Yorkshire, 90 miles up the line from me and the train spotter, artist Christine also has a passion for the railways.
I've been painting professionally for 15 years, but I have painted all my life. My parents both painted, and that's where I picked it up from, I reckon.
Christine's painting of York Station is to be submitted to a prestigious competition in London.
Two of my snow scenes I am sending to the Royal Academy Summer Exhibition, which is the most prestigious exhibition in Britain. The chance to hang your work alongside the likes of David Hockney, Ken Howard, Fred Cumin, some of Britain's top painters, is a huge draw for painters all over Britain.
Christine's journey begins at York Station. It was here, at York, while waiting for a friend to arrive, that the painting was inspired.
I was looking across the platform of the snow and the people waiting on the platform.
The railways are a constant source of inspiration for Christine.
As I travel by train, I often sit and doodle just for amusement. I've always got a sketchbook in my bag, and there'll be a farm building from here, some trees from there, and it gets made up purely for amusement.
Today's trip is one of the most important journeys of Christine's career as a professional artist.
A little apprehension about the Royal Academy exhibition, but it's not one that you build your hopes on too much. A lot of exhibitions you hope to get a picture in. This one, it's always a bonus when you do.
Every day you come to work, irrespective of where you're going or what time you're starting, it's different. You could go the same journey every day, but it would be different every day. And not many people can say that, you know what I mean? I still love my job today as I did 34 years ago when I first started.
Graham is proud to be a driver along the Newcastle to Inverness line. Over 260 miles of the most picturesque scenery on the entire British railway network.
Both my grandfathers and my father all worked on the railway, but they were all signalmen. I'm the only one in my family who's come on the footplate. My dad, he always regarded the driver as being having the best job in the railway. I must admit he's right. But me personally, it's, you can't beat a bit of variation. Whatever walk of life you do, whatever job you do, if there's a bit of variety, it makes it a bit more interesting.
Despite being spoiled for choice, Graham does have a favourite section of the route.
Between Berwick and Bournemouth. It's just because you overlook the North Sea and you're right on the cliff tops, and it's just a superb outlook.
Graham loves his work, but every job comes with the odd occupational hazard.
And you know, you get that feeling, oh, I want to go to the toilet. Very, very rarely you get caught short. You know, it does happen, obviously, it's human nature, everybody gets caught short, but it's generally it's very, very rare. And there is opportunities for you to go to the toilet.
But even old hands like Graham get caught out every once in a while.
It was in a place just a few miles south of Peterborough, actually, in what's called the Fens. I just put the brake on, I went to the toilet. And I continued the journey. I told the signalman when I got back why, like, you know. But the network control rang us up, asked us why I lost 2 or 3 minutes. I had to explain.
Christine, an artist from Whitby in North Yorkshire, has taken the train to London to submit 2 paintings to the Royal Academy Summer Exhibition. One of them is of York Station.
Quite a contrast from Whitby, where we've only got 2 sets of traffic lights. It's an eye-opener coming to London.
The odds of one of Christine's pictures being chosen are very long indeed.
There's a very large entry. I believe the percentage chance of getting work in is about 1 in 20, depending on the number of entries. The moment of no return now. Just unwrap these and hand them in, and that's me done. Not feeling confident, but I think they stand a fighting chance. Hi there. Hi. Hi there. Just scan the back, thank you. There's one. There's two. Thank you. Right.
It's all out of Christine's hands now. The paintings will be judged at a later date.
I think that both paintings have a good chance, and I'm always optimistic when I put them in. And yeah, yes, I have to say I will be slightly disappointed if they don't get in.
East Coast driver Graham is heading north on the Newcastle to Inverness line. Even though it's a long and lonely 5.5-hour journey, which ends with an overnight stay in Inverness, Graham loves it so much he jumps at the chance to do it.
Yeah, it's a volunteer link. You're not forced to do it. And if you don't want to do it, it just goes back to the next man who's waiting to come on. A lot of people don't like staying away from home. Which I can understand. People don't like sleeping in strange beds all the time. And actually, it can be a very lonely link, because you can sign on some days and never speak or see anybody, or see very, very few people, or speak to very, very few people, if at all. It's what the individual makes it. Here we are here, Dromocta Pass. There it is. Dromocta, that's how it's pronounced. It's the highest point in the rail network. When you look at this out the window, you think to yourself, how many people have that view when they go to work? And that's when I count myself lucky. I say that every time I come up here. It's stunning, man. Can't beat it.
The great British love affair with train travel is as old as the railways themselves. From the beating heart of London's metropolis to the majesty of the Scottish Highlands. Connecting coast and countryside with our great cities, the East Coast Line has it all.
Disregard that, it's a glitch.
But it's the people who give life to this railway.
Frisco, I trust you.
British public are the best form of entertainment on the planet.
The East Coast Line carries 19 million passengers a year on 155 train journeys a day, along almost 1,000 miles of track. East Coast is the largest operator on the line. It runs trains, manages stations, and employs nearly 3,000 staff.
What are you doing all day? I'm not playing with you while you're showing off.
The East Coast workforce toils tirelessly.
Mandy bats, please!
From driving trains...
Look at this office window. Fantastic.
...to making breakfasts...
I've cooked that much bacon over the years, surprised I haven't turned into a pig.
...to controlling the whole train set.
Morning. That's absolutely excellent, Graham. Thank you very much for that news.
Keeping everything on track behind the scenes and in public.
I've been standing here for half an hour.
These are the real heroes of the railway. The beating heart of the East Coast network is its fleet of trains. East Coast boasts 41 engines in total. Each one is a key part of the team, but some have been afforded celebrity status. The Flying Scotsman, the Battle of Britain, and Skyfall are among the famous names on the line. And there's also a sporting superstar. Meet the Sir Bobby Robson. On a typical working day, the Sir Bobby Robson carries over 1,000 passengers and covers over 1,000 miles on return trips between London and Edinburgh.
So you think he's not on this train? You think he's got a ticket for this train and he's maybe missed it?
So he can't claim it back.
Sausages. Lovely.
Nearly all of the East Coast on-board staff regularly find themselves working on this train.
Oh, me bacon!
Smells like burnt bacon in here, like that.
Is it? Oh, no, I.
As it travels the length of Britain.
My biggest hero was Sir Bobby Robson. He used to travel on the route quite a bit, and he was always a pleasure to have on board, him and his wife. And obviously, with it being an avid Newcastle supporter, to have him, to meet him in person on the train was just a dream come true. He was such an iconic person. They named a locomotive, I think that was after he had passed away. So I like that when I see that one going around, because it does fetch a smile to my face to see the one with Bobby Robson's name on it.
It's 5 a.m. and the start of another typical working day for the Sir Bobby Robson begins at the Bounds Green maintenance depot in North London. Over the course of the day, almost 60 East Coast staff will work on board this train, and first up today is driver Colin. He will deliver the Sir Bobby Robson to King's Cross, where his daily duties will begin.
I met Sir Bobby Robson when I was a driver at Ipswich. He was on a platform with his wife, and he asked me if the train that was approaching the platform was the London train. He was a gentleman, yeah, absolutely.
The engine's first job of a grueling 21-hour working day is a return trip from London to Edinburgh.
I don't think the public have got any idea how hard the trains work. It has got a whole day's work ahead of it.
It's just after 6 a.m, an hour before departure. The Sir Bobby Robson is fully stocked, ready for dispatch. The 1,000-mile journey is just the first leg of a marathon shift, which will end long after midnight. There will be 6 drivers taking control of the engine over the course of his working day, and the first of them is Graham.
Today, this train, it'll terminate at Edinburgh, it'll be cleaned and sorted for its return journey. It'll go all the way back to King's Cross on another passenger service. And again, once it terminates at King's Cross, it'll be cleaned again, and then it'll turn around again and come back to Newcastle. Once it's at Newcastle, terminate, turn around, go back to King's Cross and on passenger service, and then once it's back at King's Cross at night, it'll go out to Bounds Green, where it'll have its routine maintenance looked at.
Graham is delighted to be driving an engine named after a footballing legend.
He was a football manager. He was quite successful at Ipswich, wasn't he? He was England manager for, I think he was one of England's longest serving managers, is that right? The Geordies hold him with great affection, don't they? Of a legendary figure within the game. Sadly gone now, yeah. I think it's nice to have a name on a trail. It just makes it a little bit more interesting for the passengers and for the public.
Back in the train's tiny kitchen, Chef Chris presides over a flurry of bacon and biscuits.
I went to college and did catering, and then my brother worked on the trains. He worked at Peterborough Station, and he kind of got me an interview. I used to work in a big kitchen with like 8 chefs, and then I came here and I was like, wow, is this a kitchen? It's not really a kitchen. So yeah, it took a lot of getting used to. Very different. Because you're cooking whatever they want you to do, you can't do anything yourself, you know.
Chris is also a fan of the train's famous namesake.
Yeah, it's a good idea. He was a legend, so nice man. I met him on the train. Yeah, I gave him breakfast a few years ago. He was really nice.
While Chris grills the bacon, guard Marcus is front of house punching tickets.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, can I see tickets, please? Cheers, thank you very much for that. Great, thanks a lot. We'll have reservations and tickets, yes. That's great, cheers. There you go, thanks a lot. This is the 7 o'clock East Coast to Edinburgh. Gets into Edinburgh about 11:20. He's got the new loco on it. Sir Bobby Robson, who was recently named, his wife was there at the ceremony. It literally is only the engine at the front, the locomotive at the front of the train that's called Sir Bobby Robson, because the coaches can be taken out, interchanged. It's just the loco, yeah. It's nice in it just being a loco number. The locos used to have names on them, and unfortunately, when they got repainted and resprayed, they just removed all plates, all names, and just went back to just the loco number. It was quite a shame. Morning, can I see tickets, please? Morning. There's not normally passengers this time of day. They're not terribly chatty. They just want to get their head down, do a bit of work, or sleep normally. Yeah, so you don't get much response out of people at this time in the morning, unfortunately. Morning, can I see tickets, please? Cheers, thank you very much.
Just as Marcus completes his ticket check, the train reaches its first stop of the day.
Cheers, darling. Thank you very much. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, a few moments' time, if you're arriving into Peterborough, you're leaving us here, please ensure that you do have all items of personal belongings. Now I've got to run down the back. We do it from the back so we can see the train leave the whole of the platform and still see the dispatcher, and if they wanted us to stop the train, you know, we need to see them for as long as we possibly can. Right, normally I'd try and get myself to the back of the train before we even came into the station. I'll go from this one.
As the Sir Bobby Robson pulls out of Peterborough, the crew's first job is to feed the first-class passengers.
We're on the 7 o'clock from King's Cross, which is 1 Sierra 05, aka Bobby Robson. I'm the crew leader on board, and my job is to make sure that everything works together.
As those in first class tuck into their full English breakfasts, over in standard class, a group of foreign travellers have lost something important.
We've lost a colleague on the way.
Do you think they're on the train?
I hope they're on the train. Yeah, but the problem is we do this every few weeks with a group, and we always lose somebody.
Right.
So I'm always asking
Is there a
the train guard, can you please help me out, and have you seen him?
I don't know, because I don't know what he looks like.
I can show you a picture of him.
He's a lawyer.
Go on then.
Yeah. He's a lawyer.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not too obvious he's a lawyer. Is he okay on the next train then?
I don't know. So you think he's not on this train? You think he's got a ticket for this train and he's maybe missed it?
He missed it.
Missing the appointed train could prove to be a costly mistake.
Train travel is quite expensive now. So, you know, if somebody's travelling on a wrong train by half an hour, and I'm sort of coming along and saying, well, I'm really sorry that you've already spent £50 to £100. You now owe me £100 or more, in some cases. It's not a very nice job at times. No. I can't remember, sorry.
As Marcus gets busy checking the Peterborough passengers' tickets, he finds himself sounding a bit like a broken record.
Thank you very much. Have you got your reservation there as well, sir? So you've got your reservation over there, sir? Oh, those are the 2 reservations. There's 2 tickets as well, sorry. That's the reservation, mate. There's another bit as well, actually. That's your ticket. There's another bit that's the reservation. That's the reservation. Keep going. Do you have your ticket? Do you have your reservation? It is the most common phrase said. Since they brought these advance tickets out a few years ago, and it was up 2 separate tickets, multi-piece tickets, you ask any guard and he will tell you the same thing. They are a bit of a nightmare, and they make the whole process a bit longer for us because a lot of people, unfortunately, don't read what's on the ticket in front of them.
It's chaos in the kitchen, courtesy of East Coast dynamic duo Mark and Karen.
Oh, with bacon!
Smells like burnt bacon in here, like that.
Does it? Oh, no, why?
Mark always burns the bacon.
Named after the legendary England manager, the Sir Bobby Robson engine is heading north towards York. And this morning, it's not only Sir Bobby that's been remembered. East Coast Railway Chaplain Stephen is overseeing a special dedication service.
We are blessing a brand new bench which has been very kindly donated in memory of the West Yorkshire Regiment. And so we're blessing it with the regimental chaplain, and then they're going on to a service in the York Minster.
May this bench serve to remind all who sit and take their rest of the work of those who serve their Queen in the Yorkshire Regiment. May they find this place of temporary rest bring a moment of solace and peace on the journey of life.
And may the blessing of God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit be with us all this day and forevermore. It's really important to have things like this because actually in Remembrance Week we use the benches as a focal point when we place the poppy wreaths in remembrance of the staff when we do the services. So yeah, so that's really good.
With the bench respectfully unveiled, the assembled clergy want to give it a go.
Yeah, we want one sat down on the bench.
Yeah, why not? We've done some work this morning, so why shouldn't we sit and have a rest? Actually, we're not doing it for you.
Yeah.
We're just doing it for
We're just doing it for us. Yeah, we just wanted to sit on it.
Leaving York behind, the Sir Bobby Robson speeds up the East Coast line. At the controls is driver Graham.
I've actually been a train driver for just over 8 years now. So my dad, he's a train driver. He doesn't work for this company, he works for a freight company. But I've always been interested in it, and I always saw something I fancied doing. And well, I think it's a bit of both, isn't it? Your dad's a train driver, so that's what you see him doing day in, day out, and of course you get an interest because that's his job. I've always said, you know, it's the best job on the railway. I mean, other people might disagree, but you know, it's I get to come to work every day and drive a train, which I think a lot of people would like to do.
The train speeds through County Durham towards Newcastle, Sir Bobby Robson's spiritual home.
Don't laugh at my gloves.
And Chef Chris cleans the kitchen in preparation for the next shift.
That's me done. And get on the next train on the way back.
Anyway, no, I don't make a liar. Who's turning me veggies upside down now?
On another service, Geordie, Joe, Mark and Karen are gearing up for breakfast.
Oh, my bacon!
It smells like burnt bacon in here, like that.
Does it? Oh, no, I. First time.
Mark always burns the bacon.
I burnt it. I'm not going to pretend it's well done or I just burnt it, but it's because I was busy feeling them out of the basically. Because
we weren't even in it.
Yes, so if it wasn't for me.
Mark's a chef, not a CSE. All right, finish.
Anything for breakfast?
Yeah, can we have the bacon sandwich, please?
Thank you. Cheers now.
East Coast carries thousands of tourists every year, and Mark and Karen like to show their first-class guests that personal touch.
Oh, Danish? All right, Danish fish, yeah. Danish breakfast. They come around on the trolley, mate. Are you travelling too? It's Peterborough, right? The bakery basket's coming round, all right?
Are you going to Edinburgh?
Morning. Edinburgh?
The lady's going to Edinburgh.
Peterborough. Eat the Danish breakfast through us. Do you want a Yugoslavian one? Do you want a Yugoslavian one?
Sorry?
Yugoslavian?
French, maybe.
The French, right? It's just full breakfast then, yeah? No, cheers. Would you like anything for breakfast this morning?
Chef Mark is proud of his powers of communication, whatever the language barrier.
To eat? No? No food? Hold on. Do you want food?
No.
No, you don't want food. Spot on, thank you. What's happening?
I think they're going to have breakfast.
Hold on.
2 breakfasts. 2? Yes?
You see, we've been through all this. What's different? What's changed your mind?
Yeah, they like me more.
Is it? Do you think she's cooking it? Look at this, man.
I'm the chef. I'm better.
Right, do you want sausage? Do you like sausage? Sausage. Wolves. Sausages. Wolves. Two full English. 2 sausages. Leave all out. Sort them for you, pet. She never spoke. And then I said sausage. She went, sausage!
Nowhere on the East Coast Line is a Sir Bobby Robson engine more welcome than in Newcastle.
This sounds really silly. I love coming back home. I love coming back to Newcastle. And you see the Angel of the North and you know you're coming home. No matter what time of day it is, coming over the bridge and seeing the Tyne Bridge and the Swing Bridge below. And it's a nice feeling. And it sounds daft, but every now and then you'll look at it and I get goosebumps, you know? Because I'm just very sort of proud to be a Geordie from Newcastle.
Train now at platform 2 is East Coast Service 2, Edinburgh Waverley. This train will call Edinburgh Waverley only.
During the course of the working day, there will be several shift changes as the Sir Bobby Robson works his way from London to Edinburgh, back to London, and then once again to Newcastle, before finally returning to London King's Cross. Phew! And on the station in the city, which will see the train 3 times in one day, a platform team, Claire and Pam.
Do you need a ramp on the train? Is it easier, yeah? For getting up on the ramp, yeah? Right, we'll sort it out then, don't worry.
You can jump up, man.
Are you going to jump for us?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to jump? Bless you.
I meant you're 84-year-old jumping all over.
84? You don't look 84.
Well, I know that.
You're looking good. You're looking good.
They'd been in the Navy. I liked him. You see, that's the sort of people I like. I think you've got to give them a little bit of respect.
I'll get the ramp down first, gents, all right? Oh, dear me. I'll have to see if I can just get Pam to give us a hand.
Oh, don't even go there. That's never happened before in my whole career. What, 18 years? So, yeah, I don't know what happened with that. I think I just went a bit too far and I got my ramp stuck.
I've got the ramp stuck.
Only Claire could do this.
Only I could do this. Got it
right.
on?
No, you haven't.
It's too far forward. That's it, you got it?
Watch your fingers.
I just couldn't get it in the right position with that door.
Pull it forward.
Got it?
Right.
Oh
no, that'll give them a laugh, man.
Take your time, sir. All right. Never mind. These things happen.
Since leaving the depot this morning, the Sir Bobby Robson has travelled over 300 miles. After pulling out of Newcastle station, it's now heading to Edinburgh, its first terminus of the day. The 100-mile route through the Northumberland countryside and the Scottish borders to Scotland's capital city is one of the most picturesque stretches on the line.
My favourite part of the route is probably Newcastle, Edinburgh, because it's lovely. It's the only part of the East Coast route where you actually travel up the coast. Everything else is inland, you know, so you get that lovely scenery. It's nice to pass through Berwick and Allenmouth and places like that, you know, and then when you get north of Berwick, you're quite close to like the rocks, and you think, how long is the main line going to be? Maybe another 50 years with the way they say the country's corroding around the coastline, you know. You're quite close to somewhere. It's beautiful. It's absolutely awesome, that part of the world.
It's not just the view from the train which provides its passengers with memories. Today, the train's name also gives pause for thought.
And when this train drew up, we did notice it was called the Sir Bobby Robson. In fact, I pointed it out to you, didn't I? Which I think is rather nice.
It's going back to the old days, isn't it? Where trains all had names, or most of them did, I think.
And I noticed it was Sir Bobby Robson, the famous football manager. I think it goes back when I was a lad, and of course we had steam trains in those days. The most important ones used to have names on them, and you know, I think it's a nice touch to name a train like this. Yeah, you know, it takes you back to the years of steam.
While the Sir Bobby Robson speeds towards Edinburgh, Karen and Mark are busy serving dozens of breakfasts to tourists on their train.
Very, very busy train. Mainly a lot of leisure travellers, this one.
Hope you enjoy that this morning.
You're going to get a lot of food, because what you tend to find is a lot of the leisure travellers take full advantage of the offers and they'll eat.
Do you want a vegetarian breakfast this morning? No, full English? You want a full English, won't you? Yeah. Now, Mark's lovely for doing the breakfast orders, but he forgets to put what coach we're in, so I don't know where this is. Vegetarian here? Yeah? Found it. You see it. Well...
Don't worry, Karen, I've got your back.
Got 2 sausages.
Is that all right for you?
Breakfast for you.
Sausages. A picture of your sausage. That is absolutely bizarre. Your sausages. Lovely.
Oh!
Edinburgh's Waverley Station, and the Sir Bobby Robson is just over 400 miles into his mammoth 1,000-mile shift. The team has only 33 minutes for another rapid turnaround. The water needs topping up, the carriage is cleaned, and a complete set of seat reservations need to be placed before the Sir Bobby Robson is ready to head back south. At Newcastle Station, Daz rescues some living lost property.
The fish one that found on the train, and you know, like the proverbial bag, like the green one at the fair, to think that somebody would leave their goldfish. Nobody ever came looking for them. It's supposed to keep you tranquil, isn't it? It's supposed to, yeah, not that I get much to look at them.
Edinburgh's Waverley Station is a grand landmark in Scotland's capital, and the East Coast Line's gateway to and from the Scottish Highlands. Today is also the beginning of a long journey home for an American music student. She's been to Scotland for a somewhat special music convention. 21-year-old Estella has been playing the harp for over 10 years. She loves enchanting strangers with his beautiful sound, and today's first-class passengers could be the perfect captive audience.
How are you all doing today? I'm sad to be leaving Scotland. I'm going back to England for a little while.
So why were you up in Scotland?
There's a harp festival happening. I play the harp, that's what I was stuck up
Oh,
on.
interesting.
Thank you. For us? Maybe. Maybe.
Can't wait, come on.
Okay. What are your names?
I'm Fiona.
Fiona, nice to meet you. Estella.
Hello, Estella.
Yeah.
I'm Jason.
Jason, nice to meet you.
I'm Jeff.
Hi, Jeff. So, I play harp, and Scotland and Ireland and, you know, the whole of the UK really has this amazing tradition of harp music, and harps are the oldest instrument in the world.
Okay.
It was really special to come up north and visit kind of the home of the harp. Well, I can show you mine if you want.
Well,
Yeah? Okay. I just tuned it this morning, you're in luck. Gonna have to kind of sit on the edge, but...
Do you mind if I take a photograph of you?
No, go for it.
Oh, lovely, thank you.
While Estella gives an impromptu performance on her southbound train, over on platform 11, the midday Edinburgh to London train is about to depart, powered by one of the East Coast's most beloved engines, the Sir Bobby Robson.
2 spinach, 2 spinaches.
I have the spinach and republic.
On board the Sir Bobby Robson today is a fan, but not a football fan. John is on a return trip from London, and it's the engine which sets his pulse racing.
I adore train travel. Train is the best. This is 12 o'clock, East Coast, fast train from Edinburgh, Waverley to King's Cross. We stop more going down. Coming up it was just Peterborough, Darlington, obviously York, but that sort of thing. And we don't have a driving thing at that end. It's a driving van trailer. We've only got one engine, and that's at the other end, and it's pushing us all the way.
Oh, and don't get him started on his train tracking gadgets.
Yes, I use the GPS. Only 30 miles from Berwick-on-Tweed, and at the moment we're doing 106 miles an hour. We aren't allowed to do more than 125, but it goes up to about 126. This train can actually do 140, but the signalling is not quite adequate. But it's, oh, I love it. They're marvellous things, these. It is just purely for the fun of it. Other people play sport. I can't stand sport.
Before he had GPS, he used to use an old army compass. It used to drive me mad.
For most passengers, it's not fancy gadgets that capture the attention, it's the spectacular scenery of the northeast coast.
Allenmouth.
Your party is beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It's like when we go past there in the summertime and the sun's shining, Beth has to come and find me, or I found her, and we say Allenmouth, and then you look out the window
because the sea comes right round the houses, and the houses are all different colours, and when the sun shines on them,
it's beautiful. So we're aspiring to have a day out there, aren't we, Beth?
My favourite part of the route has to be towards Berwick and through. It is absolutely stunning, and I'm very fortunate that as the chaplain for Yorkshire and the North East, it's my bit, as it were, and I'm very, very proud of it and very protective of it as well.
Base to rail 1, David. Unfortunately, no York don't have a seat for that one, David.
While the Sir Bobby Robson heads into Newcastle for the second time today, Information Controller Daz is dealing with lost property.
Lost property off the last Terminator. It's, a guy's phoned up. I take it it's this one because he said he's got a bag with a shirt in it, but he never said there was an iPad in it, so I don't know if it's the same bag. The guy's going to phone back shortly, so when he does phone back, I'll just say to him, can you tell us if there's anything else in it? In the make of the shop.
Most lost property is eventually claimed by its owner, but the odd items have become permanent fixtures.
The fish one that found on the train in a, like the proverbial bag, like the green one at the fair. One of the lads, Mickey, I think he or somebody donated the tank for her, and we just thinking. But I think it was 3 or 4 of them. There's only one, the big yellow ones, that one, the original one left. The others have died. But I mean, I think they were for over a year. And because we didn't want to be lonely, we've added another 2 goldfish, and they're coming on well. And I think somebody's had some suckerfish in there to clean the tanks and that, you know. Kind of sprouted up the last month and a bit, but to think that somebody would leave their goldfish, nobody ever came looking for them. And it's great because if you get any kids who come in with their parents and look lost property, they just dart over there, make a beeline, you know. So it's great. They love the fish, and it's supposed to keep them tranquil, isn't it? It's supposed to, not that I get much to look at them. I had goldfish a few years ago, mine didn't last there. I didn't have a nice big tank like that, but I couldn't date me, like, green fingered and out like that. I tried tomatoes one time and they didn't last either, so I've given up now.
Back on the southbound service from Scotland, harpist Estella's impromptu performance in first class has given her some new fans.
So what are the colours then on the reds and blues?
So the red strings are C's, like that, and then the blue strings are F, and it just kind of goes up, C, D, E, F, G. It's always nice to feel like you're being embraced by whoever you end up sitting with, because it's such a random, occurrence. Do you want to try? Anyone want to have a go?
No, I'll have a go.
There you go.
One, two, three.
Is this your station?
This is our station.
Yes, we've got to go.
So nice to meet you. It was really nice to talk to them. I think that they definitely enjoyed it. I feel really lucky that they let me pull it out and wanted to. We're so curious, It's always great when people are interested in what you do. And that was an honor.
With her musical journey behind her, Estella arrives in King's Cross knowing her beautiful harp music has some new devotees. It's party time.
We've just had a good day in York on the races, but we didn't win much money.
Mrs. Sir Bobby Robson heads home.
1,322 miles in total. It's not bad for a day's work, eh?
It's almost 5 p.m. and for the second time today, one of East Coast's most iconic engines, the Sir Bobby Robson, is getting ready to leave King's Cross. Once again, the train is taking passengers north to Newcastle before heading back to London for its final journey of the day.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Osman Khatri, your train guard. A warm welcome aboard this is 1730 East Coast service to Newcastle, calling at Peterborough, Newark North Gate, York, Darlington, Durham, and due to arrive Newcastle at 2031.
For the third time today, the train has a new on-board team, including Osman, who's been working on the railways for nearly 4 decades.
Please.
I've been 38 years as a guard. I love it. I enjoy when I help some passengers and they say thank you. That makes my day.
This is a very expensive ticket, isn't it? Thank you. Your ticket, please.
I personally work on the assumption of having a human touch when I do.
Your ticket is not valid because it's super off-peak. They are not valid between 3 and 7 o'clock. So you need to upgrade this to the full fare, I'm afraid. You might need to pay another, I'll check for you how much.
There is a young lady there who is, unfortunately, has child ticket and she has only £25. The ticket is £28. And I could see the tears in her eyes, so I let her go without taking the excess. And she was so pleased and happy, and she'll be now ever grateful that she traveled on East Coast.
See your ticket, please. Thank you.
In the carriages, there is a change of passenger too. Gone are the afternoon tourists, replaced by rush hour commuters returning home.
Half of my train will be getting off at Peterborough, you know. Thank you indeed. You are not, definitely. Thank you. Oh.
It keeps ringing and it's some lady's phone, but we don't know whose it is.
Okay, if it rings, I'll find out. Thank you. Where did you find it, sir?
It was just left there. Can you remember what the name was?
Karina, that's right, yeah.
Karina. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Although driver Steve travels on the East Coast Line hundreds of times a year, he never tires of the view.
But it's quite interesting. When we travel passenger, like if I'm travelling with my family or even sometimes we get a job where we might take a train to York and then come back as a passenger. And you sit looking out of the window, you actually see things that you don't normally see because I'm so used to focusing that way and not sideways. Now what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to do a brake test. And this is just to confirm that all the brakes are working. So I want to make sure we've got a speed reduction and you can feel it slowing down. because we don't want the first time we test the brakes, if we can help it, to be when we're stopping at a signal, just in case there's a problem, but never had a problem.
In standard class, before Osman can file a report about the lost mobile, the phone starts to ring.
This is the telephone which has been found. It's been ringing now. Hello? Whoever you are ringing, they have lost their phone. Can you get in touch with them and tell them? Oh, it's your phone. All right, then. This is the guard on this train. She got on this wrong train and she left in a hurry, leaving the phone behind. She should have been on the 1735, but she wrongly got on the 1730. I can take it to York and you can collect it from York, perhaps? All right, then. I will give the telephone to the station staff, telling them that you will be there around 9 o'clock to pick it up. Okay, you are welcome. Thank you. At least she's happy now. She'll get her phone back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Osman Khatri, your train guard. We shall shortly be arriving at York. When leaving the train, take all your personal belongings with you. And thank you for choosing to travel East Coast.
As the train pulls into York Station, Osman hands over the lost mobile phone to the train dispatcher for the owner to collect later.
At telephone, a passenger will come and collect it. The name is Corina, about 9 o'clock.
All right.
She left it on at King's Cross. She got on and got off.
Okay.
Huh?
No worries, yeah.
Yeah? Thank you very much.
Job done, and Osman's back on the northbound journey again.
We will. Thank you very much.
With the rush hour over, a whole new crowd of sports fans have boarded the Sir Bobby Robson at York.
Thank you, York passengers.
We've just had a good day in York on the races, but we didn't win much money. How much have you lost? £20. At least. Have you? £25. I've got to pay my ticket anyway. I've got to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Osman Khatri, your train guard. We shall shortly be arriving at Newcastle Station, our final destination.
Newcastle for the third time today. And another race against time as the staff prepares the Sir Bobby Robson for the last leg of today's marathon.
This train, Sir Bobby Robson, is now heading back on last trip of the day. This is the last train leaving Newcastle for London, and we do arrive a bit late into London.
As his shift nears its end, Osman finds time to make sure the lost phone and its owner have been successfully reunited.
Hello, yes, Corina, this is the guard. Have you received your telephone from York? You have? Oh, I'm glad that you are reunited with it. You are welcome indeed, my pleasure. Thank you indeed. Bye, bye. Yeah, the lady who lost the phone on our last trip has been now reunited with her phone, and she's very, very happy.
As Sir Bobby Robson approaches London, the final destination of a long day, the passengers are still talking about the man himself.
Actually, I know an immense amount about him because as a probable 12 or 13-year-old lad, I stood outside the dressing room and heard some of the verbals that he gave his players. So although he quite rightly deserved himself to be a sir and was a great manager, he was also a very tough guy. That was probably part of his legacy. I mean, Ipswich doing what they did as a very small-time club and achieving what they achieved. And I think that's testament to the man as to how much of a coach and a manager and, you know, in later life as a director that he was.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your guard speaking. We are now approaching King's Cross Station, our final destination. Bobby Robson will be going back into the depot once we finish here in London. Back to Bounds Green. That's it, my day is over.
18 hours after delivering the engine to King's Cross, Depot driver Colin once again climbs into the cab to return the Sir Bobby Robson to the engine depot in North London.
They go into Bounds Green maintenance depot, but first we've got to give it a wash. This is the CET, which is the discharge for the effluent tanks. In the good old days, they used to discharge directly onto the track, but when these were built, they had retention tanks, so that all the waste is collected and it's discharged here. Now go into the depot, and once it's in the depot, it will receive maintenance, a bit of tender love and care ready for its next diagram, which I'm not too sure where that's going tomorrow. Looks like he's waiting for us, which is good news. And then what we need now is a hand signal from him. Once we get here, that'll be the end of the journey. Another day over. Nearly finished for the night, yeah? And I'll get them all ready for tomorrow. I left here this morning, just before 6 o'clock. It's exactly the same spot as it left this morning, and that's 1,322 miles in total. It's not bad for a day's work, eh?
The great British love affair with train travel is as old as the railways themselves. From the beating heart of London's metropolis to the majesty of the Scottish Highlands. Connecting coast and countryside with our great cities, the East Coast Line has it all.
Disregard that, it's a glitch.
But it's the people who give life to this railway.
Frisco, I trust you.
British public are the best form of entertainment on the planet.
The East Coast Line carries 19 million passengers a year on 155 train journeys a day, along almost 1,000 miles of track. East Coast is the largest operator on the line. It runs trains, manages stations, and employs nearly 3,000 staff.
That's how you do it all day. I'm not playing with you while you're showing off.
The East Coast workforce toils tirelessly.
Demand your bags, please.
From driving trains...
Look at this office window. Fantastic.
...to making breakfasts...
I've cooked that much bacon over the years, surprised I haven't turned into a pig.
...to controlling the whole train set.
Morning. That's absolutely excellent, Graham. Thank you very much for that news.
Keeping everything on track behind the scenes and in public.
I've been standing here for half an hour.
These are the real heroes of the railway. East Coast staff are constantly striving for perfection.
Can we go back and do it again?
Trying to keep trains on time, preparing meals at over 100 miles an hour.
I'm dropping them on the floor because you're making me drop them on the floor.
And looking after their passengers in stations.
Can somebody help us on 3 to take a wheelchair?
And on trains.
Evening, can I hot food for you?
And for a workforce dedicated to serving the nation's traingoers, there's nothing better than a bit of recognition. Especially at the East Coast's annual awards.
Do you look okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Very nice.
When colleagues and travelling public alike nominate their railway heroes.
Oh my goodness!
A favourite.
And for one night only, the stars of East Coast step out of their uniform and scrub up for their own red carpet event.
And the winner is...
And the winner is...
The winner is...
I've been doing my job 15 years now, and I really like it. Every day is different, so when you come in, you think, oh God, what am I going to expect now? You know, there might be some delays if you're coming in on a late shift, so every day is so different. So, yeah, I really enjoy it.
It's Saturday morning in York. Information controller Julie is getting ready for one of York Station's busiest days of the year.
It's York races today, plus it's bank holiday and plus it's payday. So I think everybody's come here because it's nice weather. They've come for the races and they're staying over. So we're more busier than usual on here.
A bank holiday race day at York can bring double the usual number of passengers through an already busy station.
Oh, look at all these coming off. Busy, very busy.
The first race starts in just over an hour. Every train delivers a flurry of fetching frocks, fancy headgear, smart suits and traditional racing attire.
We're off to York races for me stag do, lad. We're off with me old horse here. It's called Humphrey.
And the buses are ready to take Humphrey and his mates on their way. But despite being under extra pressure on race day, Julie still manages to enjoy the warm weather and the racy ladies.
I like looking at all the ladies' dresses and the shoes, it's really good, and see what they're wearing and everything. So, yeah, it's nice, and they're all in summer clothes, which is good today.
And there's plenty of them.
How many more? Any more?
But the lively crowd won't get in the way of Julie doing her job.
Mind your backs! Can somebody help us on 3 to take a wheelchair? That was a busy train. Really busy. I struggled getting that wheelchair off because there was that many people on and off. And they don't look, when there's a ramp being put down, they don't look and they just walk by you. But half of them are coming off drunk now. Bit tiddly.
It's only been a few weeks since East Coast train dispatcher, JR, retired after 47 years of service on the platform at York.
There she goes. That's the last train I'll ever dispatch in my life.
He was given an emotional send-off.
It's a sad day for me. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Oh,
but his colleagues planned an extra special treat for him. Today, JR is out of retirement and back on York platform. But this time, it's purely for pleasure.
They've arranged for me to go on the driver's cab on the 1001 to London King's Cross, as I've just completed 47 years service, so they're giving me a trip of a lifetime. All my life I've wanted to go in driver's cab, so my dreams come true.
Taking JR on his train trip of a lifetime is driver John.
Well, after we've, been a few stops, maybe I'll get off and leave you to it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and once I've been seeing you a few times with this, I might have an idea what you're doing. Fantastic. This is great, this. It's so different to be sat up front and just sat on train.
JR has spent nearly 5 decades working on the railway, but remarkably, he's never been in the driver's seat.
It's nice for me to sat up front of a train rather than waving it away. 28 years on the York Station dispatching trains. Must have been thousands of them. Yeah, so now I'm here, sat up front. It's a different way of life. It's great, it's great.
JR is taking in everything he can on this dream trip, but of course he already knows more than the average passenger.
So every time that ding, they have to cancel it, and in so many seconds, don't your brakes come on?
That's right, that's the AWS,
yeah.
the
automatic warning system.
You know it, you got it. So you're nearly trained up.
I'll just, give me a few more months.
My first shift as a train driver, I worked, I think it was the 8:35 from King's Cross to Leeds. But my wife knew I was going to do this, and obviously she wanted to sort of mark the occasion in some way. So my wife and my mother and father-in-law came down to Potterbar Station where we live, and they actually, first of all, they made a banner up saying, "Way go, Steve," on it. And then my wife got ready to take a photo as I went through. And the first thing was they showed it to the wrong train. It was the person in front of me they showed it to, so whatever they thought, I don't know. But then my wife had practiced so many times to take the photo that the batteries ran out on the camera, so she actually missed it completely. First time you're out on your own, it was very nerve-wracking because you do all your training with somebody else in the cab. So this is your first trip on your own, and you hear every creak and groan from that loco, and you're thinking, oh, does that sound right? Does that look right?
Couldn't sleep the night before, tossing and turning, thinking about it all day long. And you know you can do the job because you've been trained to do it and all that, you know, but it's happy answer. Obviously, you're nervous and you want to do everything right. But once you set sail and you do halfway through the journey, you're doing everything correctly, you start to relax a bit, you know, and all your training that you've done. And you feel dead proud after you've done the very first shift for your very first time, you know.
JR won't forget his memorable day at the front of the train.
123, nearly 125 mile an hour. Absolutely fantastic. I love speed. And this is what you've got here, speed. Very comfortable, this train, to ride in front. And you sat at home, your armchair, this. Sat in front of the telly. It's great, yeah. Oh my God. How weird is this? I'll tell you something, that's fantastic, that. Can we go back and do it again? I enjoy that.
This special driver's seat journey has given JR a moment to reflect.
I could travel on this every day. I love it. Yeah, it's great. Better than driving car. Oh, yeah. And this chap here, best job in the world. Yeah, I think so, anyway.
11:45 you booked on, straight down around the corner.
After a busy race day shift, Julie has finally reached her finish line.
It's been really good, it's passed really quick. I enjoy being busy and seeing lots of people come through the station. So yeah, it's a shame to go home, but I'm going. I live near the races, so I'll probably see people go by my house and watch them all go by, but I don't think I'll do much this afternoon. I might just sit in a beer garden.
As Julie heads off home, JR's train is pulling into King's Cross Station.
Right on time we are.
As the regular passengers depart, JR looks for the perfect memento of his locomotive loving.
I'll take a picture here if you don't mind it. The driver who brought me to London. Thank you very much.
I don't have to ask you to smile, do I?
I've been ambition to go into driver's cab since I started on railway in 1966. Now we're in 2013 and my dreams come true. Fantastic. I feel like royalty being in that cab. Royalty. So it's been great, yeah. Yeah, I remember this for the rest of my life.
The winners return from the races.
Liam, it's you, Liam. I've seen you before here.
And an onboard party receives extra support.
I'm your man, or woman.
At York Station, newly trained dispatcher Liam is facing a big test. The York Races crowd are making their way back from the track, and some are a little worse for wear.
The most difficult thing about my job is, I mean, probably when you get the customer complaints, people can be sort of difficult to deal with, but I mean, it's just dealing with them to the best of your abilities, pointing them in the right direction. I think you have a good sense of humour, that's for sure, because sort of at times of disruption when things are sort of difficult, treating each situation individually and finding your way around it.
And Liam's feeling pretty confident despite facing a potentially unruly crowd.
The next hour it's going to get very busy, it's going to be manic. A lot of race goers will sort of be heading in then if they don't go to the pub first. So yeah, but we'll be all right, we'll get through it. As long as we get them onto the train and get the train away safely, then everyone's happy.
The crowds from race day make this a busy and unpredictable shift, and inexperienced Liam will be dispatching trains under the watchful eye of Old Hand Richard.
All yours. I'll be 12 yards behind you. It's going to be busy. It's race day. Quite a lot of people will probably be drinking, so that's got implications on what we do or don't do by the side of the train.
Sure, yeah.
If you're uncomfortable in any way, just say, Rich, can you do it?
You shout,
I've got more than enough faith in you. You'll be fine.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, I'm dispatching Richard's guidance, yeah, but he's got enough faith in me to do it. Obviously under probably the most pressure I'm going to be under with sort of like, let's say, intoxicated people, so it'll be different anyway. Oh, when people have had a drink, there's more chance of sort of running for a train and sort of trying to push the button or pull the handle to get on it. So you got to sort of be extra vigilant, watching out for any hot spots. You know, anything like that. People trying to get off trains when they're already moving. You know, people think the Superman has had a drink, don't they? So anything like that, really.
York Station is starting to fill up with the well-dressed and the well-lubricated.
Liam, it's you, Liam. I've seen you before here.
Well, Liam, you're a good lad, Liam. You're here defending these lines, Liam.
Despite the attentions of his well-oiled new best friends, Liam has managed to stay calm and carry on, but he's confronted with a fresh new challenge.
That's, isn't it? Why have they done that?
Right, anybody for the train to London? It's going to go off platform 3 now. We've got time to get there, but we'll be keeping you fit.
And they're off. A sudden signalling problem has started the day's most important race to the opposite platform. Although they're cutting it fine, fortunately, everyone makes it safely and on time. But just as Liam's about to blow his whistle...
Rail 73, the guy's just having a problem with one of the passengers. I'm back with him in a minute, over.
No worries. When he's ready, we'll just start again, over.
Received that, Sean. No problem, we'll do it, over. All right, we're good. We'll start again. Start again. Right, Sean, we're ready to go. If we want to start again, over.
With the stray passenger now safely on board, Liam takes a second crack at the train dispatch. And this time, it's off. The train is heading to King's Cross, and Liam can breathe a sigh of relief.
How was that then? Different, yeah. A bit hectic, isn't it?
Yeah.
His last train has been dispatched, and Liam takes a well-earned break.
That's really good. Well done. It was good in all ways today. It's a hectic Saturday. Yeah, a lot quieter than earlier. Been a busy day earlier in the day for Liam to be training on a bank holiday with races. Really good experience for Liam. And personally for myself, it's a lot calmer than it was 2 hours ago. The race goers are on the way home safe and sound, and it will only get quieter, which is a nice thing for us.
Old Hand Richard will be sending the remaining race day passengers on their way home. But some are finding the welcome of York Station a little too relaxing.
He's sleeping soundly. There we go.
But Richard decides that nap time is over.
Excuse me, mister. You okay?
Yeah.
We're giving you 10 minutes, but it's not totally appropriate to be snoozing on a station like you are.
Yeah, I understand.
Have you got enough about you to get a coffee or something and get with it? Because
Stop it, just get...
Yeah, being customer facing, you see it most weekends, and they respond in different ways. I'd be happy if everybody responded like that. Some are a bit more grumpy when they have to surface, but thankfully he had enough about him to know he should get a coffee.
After a day of near pandemonium, a calm finally falls over York Station. Only 27 miles away in Leeds, the station is starting to get lively in anticipation of the 14:05 service to King's Cross.
Right, we're off, guys. We can go through. Coach C.
The crowd is dressed mostly in pink, with an emphasis on cleavage, while the mood is festive and charitable. The team of competitors is heading to the annual Moonwalk, a nocturnal marathon on the streets of London in support of breast cancer research. It demands only comfortable shoes, a steely resolve, and a memorable bra.
It's the way she sold it to me. She said, how would you like to go to London for the weekend and spend it with some ladies with their underwear on? I thought she was buying me a birthday present.
The 2.5-hour journey south is spent making sure everyone's costumes and bodies are covered in as much bling as possible.
Your head's not on.
Oh, my head's not on. Just a minute. Is that on now?
Yeah.
Well, I think Adele alone's race nearly 1,000 that wasn't included.
The Leeds chapter of the event was organised this year by Alison, and there's a moving personal story behind the fun facade.
So this is a group of 65 people who have come together, and we are walking 26 miles through the night, so a marathon, and we're doing it in aid of a young lady who died of breast cancer last year called Evelyn Cross. She was a primary school teacher, and she was really special, really. So she would definitely be up for what we're doing today. And she knew we were doing the moonwalk before she died.
Evelyn's parents and brother are an essential part of the evening's efforts.
Our daughter will be proud of us, so she'd be so proud because we're in her favourite colour, which is pink. She'd be so proud of everybody.
You know, it's unfortunate what's happened to Evelyn, but we must look forward as well for the people who can hopefully beat this disease and live a long and happy life.
So they are the true story behind it. So.
The main reason we're here is because of Terry and Kimberly.
Yeah, these guys here went for a hard time, and we're here to support them. And we've been training for weeks, hours and minutes, and it's going to be a tremendous experience. How's that? Yeah, good.
East Coasters donated a whole carriage to the cause to keep the challengers comfortable en route to their long night of walking hard, doing good and laughing loud.
I think if we can start in this spirit, we've got a good chance of ending. I think it'll be very interesting to see what state we're all in when we set off back tomorrow.
The fundraising effort behind the Leeds Moonwalk has reached an impressive figure.
The total that we've raised right now is £18,715.20. It's important. 20 pence is definitely important.
With the final sequin, tattoo and fairy light attached.
I'm ready. I'm your man or woman.
The group pulls into King's Cross, ready to light up London's night sky. The stakes are high for driver Steve as he takes a nightmare test.
It's just one thing happening after another all the time. You're always thinking, have you done something wrong?
Evening, can we have food for you?
And Chef Sean is off to a bad start with the new menu.
And I have upset myself because I've done it. I'm not happy.
Of all the jobs on the railway, being a train driver is the most high-profile and romanticised role. In reality, it's a demanding job involving frequent training, constant tests, stress and risk. But for most drivers, once they've had a taste of it, there is no other life for them.
I like train driving because if you do your job and you go from A to B when you should and you do everything the way you should do, first of all, you don't get bothered by anyone. And then there's a feeling of power. You're in control of this 500-ton train. You've got responsibility for 600-700 passengers at times. The two things together, it's like a boy's dream in a way, to be able to do train driving.
Every 2 years, each one of East Coast drivers is required to complete a set of rigorous driving tests. Steve has recently taken and passed his in-train practical examination.
The stop was fine. It was nice and smooth and controlled. It was spot on.
Today, he's going to travel the whole of the East Coast line, but he won't be leaving King's Cross Station. He'll be taking his train simulator exam, sitting in an exact replica of a locomotive driving system, complete with virtual front window.
Steve. It's obviously a relatively stressful time because at the end of the day, if you do get something majorly wrong, it could be that you're taken off driving. That's your job you're talking about, so you do have to get it right. Fingers crossed, and we'll see how it goes.
Back to keep a watchful examiner's eye on every move he makes is Steve's instructor, Colin.
The thing with the simulator is there will be events that will happen today which don't normally happen. To test his emergency procedures, basically. He will have his work cut out. It'll be sort of like the journey from hell because there'll be a lot more happen than what normally happens. But then that's the very nature of why we're here, to put his knowledge to the test, really. If you indicate when you're ready to start, Steve, I'll start it away.
OK, I'm Colin. I'm ready, Colin.
OK, here we go.
Let's get it over with.
As Steve sweats it out in a dark London room, around 500 miles north in Scotland,
a whole life of a driver, yeah.
Driver Graham is speeding through the most picturesque stretch of the entire network, surrounded by picture postcard Scottish scenery.
If you woke up with this every day out your front windows, you couldn't argue, could you?
But Graham's picture-perfect jaunt from Inverness to Edinburgh isn't completely without tribulation.
You'll often see up here, you'll see a deer just jumping across the fence and, like, running across the track and up to the other side. It's quite a regular occurrence, actually. And unfortunately, they don't all make it. I've only hit one once up here. I feel awful, I feel sorry for the poor thing. I didn't even like hitting a pigeon, I mean hitting a deer. So, there's a couple of red deer there. If you're lucky, you only see quite a lot of them, actually.
Back at King's Cross, deer aren't a concern for Steve, but he is approaching the first of his own journey's hazards, an unexpected red signal.
Hello, King's Cross. This is a driver 1 Alpha 03, stood at Kilo 662 signal.
What it is, driver, is well, we've got some signalling problems in
The examiner has prepared a series of unusual tasks and extreme challenges that are critical for Steve to master.
So I have your authority to pass Kilo 662 at danger. Thank you.
King's Cross out.
And while Steve concentrates on his technical test, Graham has time for a short history lesson.
There's been a few battles here. Obviously, the most famous person is William Wallace, which the monument commemorates on the hill there. It's Blair Athol Castle, and the guy who has it, he's the only one who's legally allowed to have a private army. Right now, we're approaching Moncrief Tunnel, which apparently is the longest tunnel, railway tunnel in Scotland. I think it's just over 1,100 metres, I think. Well, now, when I'm sitting cool through this tunnel now, I can imagine what it must be like driving the London Underground.
Back in London...
Hello, is that the guard? Over.
Yes, the guard, over.
Just to inform you that we've got 10 people at work in between here at Walmer Green, Kilo 603 signal. Hello, King's Cross signaller. This is the driver of 1 Alpha 03 on the approach to Finsbury Park. I've just had an ADD activation. It's quite intensive. As you can see, there's just one thing happening after another all the time. So it can be quite tiring, and I think when you're doing this, you're always thinking, have you done something wrong? But hopefully it's going okay.
Steve is battling the rain. But Graham has a much sunnier outlook.
And these are the sunglasses you get. They're not bad, actually. Makes us look like Gary Cooper.
Down the line in London, Steve's journey from hell is nearly done.
Steve, you can stop there because that's the end of this assessment.
Okay. It's just really intense.
After a very different morning, Graham pulls into Edinburgh Waverley Station.
Well, that's it. That's me done as if my duties for the day. And a most enjoyable journey, wasn't it? Fantastic scenery. Now you know why I love my job.
And as Graham sets off to relax, the crucial question is, has Steve passed his critical training exam?
Everything was spot on. You just need to sign there.
Okay, that's great.
Done.
Thank you, Colin.
Oh, well done.
Thank you very much.
It's a sigh of relief for Steve as he extends his driving credentials for another 2 years.
Oh yeah, I can definitely relax now. Now the assessment's out of the way, it's like, whew, great. Haven't got to do that for 2 years. No, definitely good, and I can definitely relax.
Every 6 months, East Coast launches a new menu for its first-class passengers, and today, Chef Sean will get his first crack at the new dishes.
I'm always apprehensive with a new menu. Got to make sure everything's right, and of course, it's how we serve it. It's got to be right. It's as simple as that, especially with a new menu. It's just got to be right.
Cooking is in Sean's blood.
Yeah. And I was destined to cook. My mum was a head chef. I can remember as a child sitting in the kitchen in a hotel watching her cook. The good thing about it was lick the bowl. It's always lick the bowl.
But there's no bowl licking today. The new menu has got Sean more than a little flustered.
It's a bit of a panic for me because I've never cooked it before, so it's just a massive, great big learning curve for me.
The 5:30 to Edinburgh leaves King's Cross, and as Sean is still digesting the new menu, customer services assistant Darren is already taking orders.
Evening, any hot food for you?
Sean's keen to ensure that everything meets his own high professional standards.
Every detail of the menu, every detail of the food is my responsibility. It's quite daunting for me. I like to be in control of my kitchen, you know what I mean?
And there's one new menu item that seems to be a big hit with the passengers.
The salmon, yep, in the can, thank you. Salmon as well, yep, push can. The salmon, yeah, no problem. The salmon, thank you. Right then, we've got 14 chicken, 2 spinach and 15 salmon.
It'll be about 3 or 4 minutes.
The heat is on. Sean must get 31 orders out within the next 5 minutes. He rapidly plates the salmon with green beans and boiled potatoes, whilst Darren cracks the whip.
17.56, not too bad.
It'll be out, don't you worry.
You're not dropping them on the floor today?
I'm dropping them on the floor because you're making me drop them on the floor.
Sorry. Thank you very much, perfect.
15 orders of salmon are on their way to the hungry travellers.
Thank you. Salmon's the popular one tonight.
And Sean's culinary skills are not lost on the diners.
Given that the guy's preparing food at 125 miles an hour, it's pretty good.
I think a lot of our passengers are surprised for how good the food is that we produce on the trains.
But there's a slight problem.
The potatoes are supposed to be roast?
No.
Just checking.
The menu says salmon supreme served with roast potatoes and sugar snap peas. So I guess they've changed the potatoes and the peas. I didn't notice that actually.
Overall, I think the potatoes are a little bit disappointing because the menu says roast, and there's not a lot of colour on those.
With a quick reappraisal of the new menu, Sean is tucking into a piece of humble pie.
How did I miss that? I read the manual about 10 times today, but it doesn't always sink in.
11, yep, salmon, there we go, thank you.
And I have upset myself because I've done it. I'm not happy. But everyone else is happy, but I won't be because that's just the way I am.
The nominees are announced.
Whatever happens, let's have a good time.
Yeah. The red carpet is rolled out.
Does it look okay?
Yeah.
Right.
And the winner is...
Once a year, East Coast celebrates the outstanding employees from across its 3,000-strong workforce at a prestigious black tie awards ceremony in York. Setting out from London's King's Cross is awards nominee driver Steve and his wife Angie.
I think I'll need a trains to be a passenger. Right, let's settle down. It can be a bit strange sometimes travelling. You do enjoy it, but then if the train slows down when you're not expecting it to slow down, you're then thinking, oh, why are we slowing down? And hoping that there's nothing wrong. But I'm a bit of a Jonah, apparently, because every time I go on trains travelling passengers, they break down.
So watch out.
Oh, don't worry. Passengers are looking at me now. Don't worry, it's going to be fine.
Steve has been nominated for the Improving Train Performance Award.
So we're at Peterborough now, and we're 2 minutes late. So I now make a note in my delay book so that I can ring delays later on and tell them why we were 2 minutes late into Peterborough.
He goes the extra mile, noting down every train problem he comes across, even taking his work home with him.
I think I've been nominated because back in November I wrote a 5,500 word report in my own time at home. It probably took me about 4 or 5 days to do, with about 27 or 28 different ideas on how we can actually improve our train performance and our punctuality.
And today, a punctual service is extra important.
What time does it start?
It starts at 6:30, so...
So we have to be there dead on?
Yes, it's quite strict actually, because there's a timetable to work to. So we have to be there on time, otherwise it wouldn't look very good if I'm going there for improving train performance and then I'm late for the award ceremony.
That's true.
The train departs King's Cross, and one carriage along from driver Steve are the hard-working engineers from the Bounds Green Maintenance Depot, and they waste no time in getting the party started.
Yeah, nice one. We got them in the favourites, definitely. No, for looks. Yeah.
Bounds Green has been nominated for the much-coveted Team of the Year award.
Keep going, brother. Right, stop.
While the rest of the line sleeps, these hard-working blokes work through the night, managing the Herculean task of keeping all of the East Coast electric trains repaired and railworthy. Their nomination came as a surprise to these East Coast veterans.
A bit of a shock, I must admit. Didn't expect to be nominated because we're, like I say, we're in the background. We don't get noticed that much. A lot of the crews must probably get nominated more than we do. So yeah, it's a great honour.
And strictly observing classic award show etiquette, they're just happy to be nominated.
I believe, personally, myself, that Newcastle's going to win. The reason being because they are in the front of everything that goes on, and we are in the background. And I believe that they will actually win the Team of the Year.
Further up the line, a key member of their competition, Pam from the Newcastle station team, is making her way south to York.
I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hoping Newcastle will win because I think it'll be a good morale boost for the team.
The Newcastle team had a busy year, weathering a Friday when the train stood still.
All I can do is ask it to weather well. There's nothing moving at the moment north of Newcastle.
A seriously tough Derby Day crowd.
My sail's been flown, my sail's been flown!
If you want to move back, you're going to get hurt here, OK? So move back.
And Pam herself faced a close call with difficult customers.
Oh, no, you are... No! Wait!
No!
It's upset Pam. Should he actually grabbed her head? And to me, that's assault. I just think that's out of order.
Whoever has nominated Newcastle Station has took the time out and said, you know, and recognised that we do a great job. And it is like a little thank you to say, you know, we are aware of what you do. Even if we don't win, it is, you know, it's nice to be recognised for what we do.
Pam is going for the gold tonight, but is starting off with a nice bronze.
I had a spray tan done. Normally when I get a spray tan done, it's straightforward, wash it off, brilliant tan. Unfortunately this morning I got up and I had white patches on my legs and arms, so I've had to do some running around and some patching up of the spray tan so that it's even. Hope it's worked.
For all the on-board nominees,
Cheers.
it's a refreshing change to be travelling as ordinary passengers.
Let's go for that, lads. Good luck in that.
Whatever happens, let's have a good time.
The trains pull into York Station, and Steve has got a case of big night nerves.
When you actually arrive at the place, it does give you more of an idea of you're actually close to it. And I expect the closer we get to the actual presentation time, it's going to be like, am I going to win? But it doesn't matter. I have to say that. It doesn't matter if I don't win. It's just great to be here. But we'll see.
And with only 2 hours to the awards,
thank you very much. Bye.
The nominees head to the hotel to get red carpet ready.
Okay.
Does it look okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Very nice.
That's good.
If we win, fantastic. If we don't, you know, it's a good night out, so it's fine.
I suppose I'm feeling a little bit nervous. The closer we get to it, you just never know what might happen.
Hi.
The Newcastle station manager, Louise, is ready to go.
I haven't had time to do it. You know what? I'm really excited for the table tonight because we've got some people that have never been to the East Coast Awards. It's nice as a manager to see your staff enjoying themselves and letting them the hair down.
Let's go.
Bye.
It's time for the annual East Coast Business Achievement Awards, coming to you from the Barbican Theatre at York. It's a crowd filled with some of the East Coast's finest. The ladies are looking glamorous and the gents have scrubbed up well. Railway chaplain Stephen is trying hard to stay impartial.
I'm rooting for everybody, but I am secretly rooting for York Station, actually. Yeah, we've got to take that prize, yeah.
I've just been having a look. We're on table 4, the Newcastle team, so fingers crossed that's a good omen that we're near the stage.
The nominees are invited to take their seats in the ballroom, and everyone is eagerly awaiting the celebrity master of ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome tonight's special host, Olympic, Commonwealth, European and World Triple Jump record holder and gold medalist, Jonathan Edwards, CBE.
Hello and good evening. As many of you know, I'm a great fan of the East Coast. I use the services regularly. I'm sure I recognise a number of faces in here. And I have to say you have made a fantastic difference over the last 3.5 years, so very, very well done indeed.
There are 13 awards in total.
And the winner is...
And the winner is...
The winner is...
From Safety Achievement of the Year...
The Onboard Safety Forerunner.
To Outstanding Individual...
Stephen Sheard.
A parade of winners take to the stage until the evening is down to its final 2 awards.
Our next award is for improving train service.
And Steve's moment of truth has finally arrived.
And the winner is... Chris Jury.
And believe it or not, Steve loses out, but remains positive.
I'll just have to do a little bit better next year. Maybe instead of being the bridesmaid again, I can be the bride next time.
He's always my winner.
There's one award to go, Team of the Year, and the nominees are...
The Newcastle Station team. Then we have the team at Clay Hills Depot. And finally, the Bounds Green Depot Class 91A shift.
Thank you, Jonathan. It gives me great pleasure to announce that the winning team, the Newcastle Station team.
And Newcastle pip Bounds Green to Team of the Year and bring the ceremony and another year on the East Coast Line to a close.
Newcastle won! Yeah, we won Team of the Year. Really, really pleased.
I'm a bit gutted, but I mean, it was really nice. I was surprised to be actually nominated for the whole team, so I'm very proud of them as a whole.
I've had a fantastic night. I think, you know, you can just feel the atmosphere. You can just feel, you know, the absolute emotion, the positivity, the excitement. It just makes you realise, you know, actually a bit of recognition goes an awful long way.
Oh, me bacon. How many people have that view when they go to work?
Take your time, sir.
OK, sir, jump on the train.
There you go. All done, and the lady's got her bag back.
Thank you very much. Cheers, thank you.
My liege. My liege.
Here we go.
Bonjour.
No, off the train.
Look at this office window. It's fantastic.
Come on! Get in there. Yes. Oh, isn't that lovely? No. Oh.